guys. So like I said, we have started this series especially for mid-age careers. So people, what do you mean by mid-age? So people who've been into work life for 12 to 15 years.
Yeah.
And now they're either going through a career stagnation.
Yep.
Or they're wanting to switch their career.
Absolutely.
Or they want to take a new job. But they've been in one organization for a very long time. And they don't know how to now, once again, reach out to other connections.
Or I would say people
interview.
Who have not given an interview for a decade.
Absolutely. So you've been in a company for 10 years. Now if someone says, look out for a job, how the hell will I go and appear for an interview, right?
Yeah.
So these kind of things, what happens, or probably I'm not getting the salary that I deserve.
Yes.
I don't know how to negotiate it. Or when I'm moving to a new job, will I get this kind of hike? Will I get 30, 40, 50? My industry says it's 15%, 25%. How to break through all this myth?
How to break through that one biggest concern is new company, new people, new environment. Oh my God, I'm so comfortable here. Everybody know, from PU to the MD, they know me. Now, all of a sudden, going in a new place after 10, 15 years, oh my God, it's like a huge shock or a huge cultural change there.
Yes. So how to overcome all these things is what we keep discussing
on.
And discussing things which you have been responding.
Absolutely.
So last time I had put up a poll asking each one of you.
Yes.
What skill is really relevant and important at this stage of life?
Yes.
Where you want to grow in the corporate ladder.
Yep.
And the maximum number of votes have come on leadership
skill. Yeah.
And that's the reason we are here today on the topic, how to master the art of leadership.
Absolutely. And before we start, I want to tell that it's a very short span that we have, that we will try to give you some input. But because studying leadership, and we actually do a 1 full day program on leadership, okay, rather 1 to 2 days, which is 12 hours, 24 hours. Now, summarizing all of that and giving you in half an hour is very difficult, but we are definitely going to try.
So we are starting with today's series, and I'm going to continue.
Yes.
This series on leadership for the coming episodes.
Absolutely. So people do follow, because it's so difficult. You know, generally we do leadership program for 24 hours. That's 12 hours, 2 days. Sometimes it goes to 14 hours. That's how you can, and then also it's less. But still, we will try to ensure that whatever that we have on leadership, we will keep giving you every Friday. So this is going to be a little episode series type that's going to happen for you.
Because I feel that as you start working, you're an individual contributor.
Yes.
But when you grow up the ladder, you become a team player. And then comes a point when you're expected to manage a team.
Yes.
Or lead a team.
Absolutely.
The position is of a manager. It could be any functional manager, whether it's sales manager, or it is a team lead, or it is an operations manager. Whatever is a function related to the manager.
Yes.
The manager is supposed to get work done from people.
Absolutely.
Now it's pretty much easy to do a task on your own, but it's very, very difficult to get it done from someone else.
Absolutely. Completely.
And that's what a manager does.
So you come to a stage of life that even if you want to, you can't be a solo player.
Yes.
In the corporate world, one stage comes when you have to get into now being a leader, being a manager. Okay. So the first very important. Yeah.
Yes. So difference. So you reach that position, you're supposed to lead a team. But somehow we get caught up in this world called as manager.
Yeah.
And that is why most managers fail in their career, because they're managing their team.
Yes.
But there are certain people, when they become your boss, you remain in touch with them even when you're not working in that same company.
Very true.
You stay in touch with them because you know they are interested in your growth. You stay in touch with them because the learnings that you had from that person are amazing. You know that that person is going to be able to guide you even 10 years down the line. These people are called leaders.
So there is a difference which I want to highlight here is, one is a solo player who has got his work, he finishes the target, he achieves it, and he is going out there. One is a manager. What does the manager do? He's managing the work. Okay, he's managing the team, he's managing. So it's more from the perspective of managing. And there is something called as a leader. Now, what does the word leader itself means? I want to tell you. The main work of a leader, that when I became a leader, my mentor told me, that leadership is all about leading people. It starts from there. You're supposed to lead people from one place to another place. That's where it starts. So which means your core role is that how are you going to lead the team? Maybe 1, 2, 3. It really doesn't matter what is the number. Even if one person is there given to you, you have to lead that person life towards wherever that person wants to reach his destination, and lead these people also towards company's destination. Now that's a role of a leader, and it starts with the first point. The shift is you need to start focusing on others.
Yes. So when we say leader, the first thing that you need to understand is, I was a solo contributor, individual player. I was working on my strengths. I was delivering my best. I was performing at my peak level. I was interested in my promotion. I was growing. I was reaching out to others. How do I move?
Absolutely.
The minute I want to become a leader, my role shifts from me to others.
Absolutely.
So the first point that you need to understand of becoming a leader is, I need to focus on others, other people in my team, my colleagues, my seniors, my juniors, my company, my organization. It's all about others. It's not about me anymore.
So you'll have to get out of yourself.
So the first thing to become a leader is to focus on others. Now, when I'm saying focusing on others means what? What are you supposed to do for this others? So it's a very clear, specific role that you need to play as a leader.
Yes.
You have to help your people grow.
Yes.
You have to help your people perform better. They become more efficient. Their way of thinking changes.
Very true.
Their way of working changes. They are doing much better than what they were doing yesterday with your presence.
Absolutely.
So what you need to do when you say focus on other people, it's about focusing on other people's growth.
Yes.
There could be various ways to do it. Somewhere it is asking them to do it. Somewhere it is about making relations and making them do it.
Yes.
Somewhere it is about empowering them. There are various tools and techniques that we'll discuss in the latter session.
Yeah, we'll come slowly to that.
But one thing very clear is you have to help them grow.
Yes.
Now, when I say grow, why that growth is required? For what purpose is the next step of a leader? So leader focuses on others. A leader is helping them grow. But why is he doing that?
Yes.
That's for a purpose or a vision.
Absolutely right.
Now, in a corporate organization, it could be the vision, the purpose of that team.
Yeah.
Or that vision and purpose connected and aligned to the company's vision. That is how I'm helping my entire team to merge with the vision of a company or an organization.
Absolutely.
So if you look at all the leaders that we have had in our era before us in history, they're all people who had a vision.
Yes.
They all had a dream. They all had a purpose to life, and that is how they could lead people. So dear friends, if you want to start doing that, you first yourself have to become a visionary, or at least have some purpose, some meaning to your life.
Very true.
If I don't have a purpose to life, how will I understand what is a vision? How will I understand what is a meaning to life, right? So how do you lead person to a vision? But for that, I need to first understand. I've seen this 99.99% people who work in the corporate world are not aware of the vision of the company. They are never told. It is one statement made during possibly the company's presentations, or probably it's there on the website, or probably it would be done when you have been introduced to the company.
Very true.
So during the orientation, the HR is going to tell this is the vision of the company. But no one ever thinks about that vision. And that is why people come and go.
Absolutely.
That is why people don't stay. That is why it becomes difficult for a company to achieve a vision, because that's the role of a leader.
Yes.
A leader is the one who should drive people to accomplish that vision. For example, you want to suggest some example of leadership? Like, for example, if you look at Martin Luther King was very clear. He wanted to shift the Americans. So he had a very clear-cut goal, purpose, vision, and that's why he could lead so many people who came there, heard a speech, and made the change. Similarly, in our country, we have
Gandhi.
Yes.
What a greatest example.
Absolutely.
The vision was so clear that he made 200 million people follow that vision. It's not easy, okay, what he has achieved. Same in the corporate world. Every corporate, like for example, every company who grows, they have a vision, and the leaders are able to stick to that vision, and they are able to achieve that vision. Every company has that. Okay, that's something which is very important.
So if you want to grow as a leader, then the first thing you need to really see is, what is the vision of my organization
Absolutely.
or my company? If tomorrow I have to lead this team of people, what are we here to achieve? What is the purpose behind doing all of this? When I understand that purpose and I align myself to that vision,
yes,
that's how I'll be able to lead my team or my people to achieving that or accomplishing that vision.
Absolutely.
Now, there's a powerful vision. We have to accomplish that. We have set the direction. We are going to move towards the direction. So what are the pillars which I will use to move ahead? What is that guiding principle? So there are two very clear-cut important things. The first one is values. So if you're looking at the company's vision, it's generally followed by the values that the company follows.
Yes, very true.
Without values, I'll be like a destination without anyone to guide me. There's no compass.
Yes.
Right? There is no anchor.
It's always vision and values.
Absolutely. So the value, what is the value of the company? Now I can only understand values when I have some certain values that I stick to.
Yeah.
And all of us, knowingly or unknowingly, have a set of values that we believe in.
Very true.
So values and set of beliefs, something which I'm 100% sure of. This is how life works.
Yes.
This is how work happens. This is how relationships are built.
Yes.
This is how I can grow. This is how I can lead others. This is how the world runs. For everything and anything, there is a belief system that I have created.
Yes.
They can be situational. They can be related to me. They can be based on the environment that I've been groomed. But we all have certain beliefs in our life, and that becomes our compass to move ahead in life. If it doesn't fit into my belief, I'm not able to do it with that kind of conviction.
Very true.
So set of values and set of beliefs. Would you like to tell some of your beliefs and values?
So my biggest value in my life is all about serving people. Okay, contribution or serving people is the most important thing that I value is serving people. So no matter what business I do, no matter what business we are into, the core value given to the employees is, no matter what, serve the client. That's the core that we have kept as our company, that the first thing should be focusing and serving the client. Then serve your people who are working for you. And then, you serve yourself. So serving people is the biggest value that I've always lived with.
Right. So is true with me. My vision is that I lead people to fulfill their dreams. That's my purpose of life. That's the reason I got into coaching.
Yeah.
And how? By helping them tap their innate potential.
Absolutely.
Now, if I'm going to do this, then my first value or my first belief, not even value, my first belief is that people have innate potential.
Absolutely.
Each one of us,
yes,
as human beings, have immense potential. We just don't know how to tap that potential.
Absolutely.
Now, if that's not my belief, I will not be able to lead my clients to growth.
Yes.
They will not ace in their career. They will not progress in their career. It's me. It's my conviction in them that they can do better, that they're able to reach
At
them.
the same time, I always have a belief that there is always a solution to any problem. There is no problem on this earth which cannot be solved. This is the belief I had as a sales guy. This is the belief I had as an entrepreneur. This is the belief I have a coach. This is the belief that I have as a husband or father or son or whatever, that there is a solution to every problem.
So that's what it's for me, that there is a way. There is a way. I've still not found it, but there is a way.
Absolutely.
And when I continuously find the way, I'm able to help my clients also. When they say this is what I want to achieve and there's nothing seen,
Yes.
my belief guides me and I can find the path and help them.
Absolutely. There is a beautiful story I want to narrate of one of my clients. It was 5 years back. I started coaching him, and he came because his wife bought him, and they were into a manufacturing business. So he used to go in the factory, reach there at 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock. Okay, she used to reach at 8 o'clock. He used to reach at 11 o'clock, and he used to go out and he used to come at 8 o'clock. Just wandering here and there, spending time unnecessarily. Just, it was more of a joke that he had become in that industry. And that's how he came here. And everybody had stopped believing. They felt that he's a useless guy and he's never going to do anything. And the wife, when I met him, I said, no, one day this guy is going to do extremely well. He's going to be focused. I believed in him. I believed in his potential. And in a just span of 1.5 years, that guy became so focused that they started doing so well. Rather, I remember almost 3 days back, he said that we bought our own unit of 2,000 square feet. Wow. Where they had started, their unit was on rental, was 350 square feet. And he called me, thanks to you, sir, that had it not been for you, I would have never dreamt of being the person I am. That today, 18 hours I work. From 6 employees, they have come out to 52 employees, and they are doing business with name the best of the companies in the manufacturing. They are doing business with them. Absolutely. And they bought 2,000 square feet of their own. He said, I've just bought the land. I'm going to work it in 6 months inauguration, and you and ma'am has to come and inaugurate. It's only because of you. Now that is
if you look at his communication skills,
nothing.
He doesn't know proper English.
No English. He's 7th standard pass.
Absolutely. He's not a polished guy, but he and his wife put together have been able to crack MNCs.
Yeah.
Where he was a third party vendor.
Yeah.
Not to a principal company, to a vendor.
Vendor. That is how it was. So the principal company gave a job to one vendor, second, and these were the third vendor servicing them. Correct. And from there, today I'm talking companies like Tata Motors, Hyundai. These are the company they have cracked, and they're working direct vendors for them. That is what happens, because when I met him, I believe this guy, because I believe every person, and that's the strength. The biggest secret of our 100% results in every client who comes to us, who gets coached, is because we believe in
their potential. We believe in their potential, and that's how we are able to lead them. So it's absolutely a clear belief when a client comes to me, no matter what situation he must be in. We know there is a way.
Yes.
And we know they'll be able to make it happen because I believe in their potential. Right? Same way talking about values. So one of the most important value for me would be ensuring that my clients get result.
Yeah.
Ensuring. So that's my standard. I don't go below that.
Yeah.
Till he doesn't get the result, I don't stop. I continue doing that. Our work is very authentic. So authenticity is one of my value.
True.
I don't tell what I don't practice on my own. That's my authenticity.
Absolutely.
So anyone who comes to me and lives life, or anyone who's been with me for years, that one of my client was telling this, that I've seen you, he's been with us for 5 years now. And he's seen how every time when he's seen us, he said, you've been walking the talk. Every time I've seen you, this is how you live life. This is how you prioritize.
Absolutely.
This is what you do. This is how you spend your day. There is nothing in this 5 years I found that you have not done, which you have been talking about. So that's my authentic self. That's his authentic self. And that's why the clients believe in us. So values are very, very important.
Very true.
So your set of values and your belief system. These are the two bases on which you can lead your team for achieving that purpose or that vision for the company.
Right.
So guys, for that, now for these two things, the most crucial thing is, am I as a person having a set of belief or values? So the leadership journey actually begins from me. When I start with myself, what am I here for? What am I going to do out of my life? What am I here to create? Who do I want to become? What's the purpose of my life? What is that I want to achieve? If I'm not clear, if I don't have any purpose and vision to my life, I will not be able to lead others to make it happen.
Very true.
Am I aligned to the vision of the company? So, most of the people, when you find that they're happy in an organization and they're delivering to their peak. They're really passionate about their work. If you reflect back, you'll find that their vision and values match with the company's vision and value. The company is also living to the vision and values, and they are aligned with that person. And that is why both of them are able to lead a company together.
Why it's so big? You are working somewhere, you have leaders, you have bosses. You only think which person you go to. Someone who follows what he says, someone who is in line with the vision of the company, or someone who is not at all following anything. You will not go to that person. You think yourself. There are a lot of people working with you, but you always go to that person. He may not be your immediate superior or your immediate boss, but you will go to that person which you know that this person is the person who can guide me, because he's living the life that he talks about, and he's living the life that I want to live. So just becoming a manager or just by position reaching there, it doesn't work. Leaders are people who have earned that respect. You have to earn it, and it only happens when you walk the talk. It's as simple as that, can you?
So respect and trust, I think, to just add that, that's one very important quality a leader needs to have. That is, people trust him.
Yes.
Now, where does this trust come from? This trust comes from when you're living up to those values and the beliefs that you're telling your people to make it happen. So very important quality in a leader is not only having a set of beliefs and values, but living to those values even in the time of crisis.
Yeah.
And that is why we have seen that companies who sustained in crisis, people didn't leave the organization and go, were people who were aligned with the values and the vision.
Very true.
They were aligned with their leader. The leader led them. They worked together in the crisis for the organization to grow. And after the crisis, they emerged much more stronger.
Absolutely.
History has proven this.
Yes.
That if people get aligned to your vision and your beliefs, then they're 100% following up with you. They're going to live with you, and they're going to ensure that they give their lives.
Absolutely.
For example, like Gandhi, Dheeraj just spoke about Mahatma Gandhi talking about principle of non-violence.
Yes.
I still can't imagine and digest this concept that we are fighting for freedom against people who have guns which are loaded. And this one man is telling people, without picking up a weapon, we can still get freedom. But he made it happen.
Absolutely.
Why? Because he believed
in this concept.
Yes. So he believed in his vision. He had a set of values, and he led people with those values. He lived to it. That's why people admire him. And today, after so many years, after he not existing on this planet, we still refer to him.
Absolutely.
Worldwide, he's appreciated as a leader. So most important quality, having a vision and values and beliefs which support that vision, right? Now, once all this is done, then I need to be able to communicate this vision, these values to my people down the line.
Yes.
And how do I communicate that? By living up to them. It's not about big, huge promises, big talks, but living on it daily basis.
Absolutely.
That's how you can build trust in your people. And believe me, when the trust and respect is there for the leader, there is no one stopping him from achieving what he's up to.
Yep.
So in short, from your perspective, what's a leader and what is he supposed to do? Let's just sum up so that we can continue this series the next time.
So as I said, leader is all about one person who leads people, a set of people, from one place to another place, to the destination that they want to reach, at the same time, the destination that company wants to reach. That's what is the beauty of a job of a leader in the corporate world, that he has to achieve the destination of the company and the destination of teammate. Now, he's there in between like a bridge, okay, like a flyover. And that's what he needs to have huge power in him to able to lift these people, take them together to achieve the company's mission and vision. And to do that, they need immense amount of values, vision, and beliefs. It's not possible otherwise. If you don't have those values, If you don't have those beliefs and you turn out to be a weak person, you turn out to be a coward, then it is very, very difficult to become a great leader. Become those leaders whom you would want to become like. So if your immediate boss is someone whom you don't want to be like, and if you become like them, the same thing your juniors will feel. But there are someone whom you want to go up to, look up to, you should also aim to become like them. That is what is the whole idea that we thought we'd share with you today.
Right. So dear friends, let's just reiterate all the points,
yes,
so that you remember. So first, leadership is all about others.
Others.
It's not about
yourself.
So you start focusing on others.
Yes.
And when you say focusing on others means what? You're helping them grow.
Yes.
You're supporting them for what they are here to achieve.
Yes.
And what is that? You're leading them towards a purpose or a vision.
Yes.
To accomplish that vision, what you need is values and beliefs. How can you lead them? When people respect and trust you. How do you establish this respect and trust? Is by living with those values and beliefs. So you're walking the talk, you're
yes,
just not talking. And when that's happening, you are 100% going to lead your entire team to the vision that you have decided,
absolutely,
to the destination you want to take them.
Absolutely.
So for all of you who have attended this live session, and for all of you who are going to watch this recording later,
yes,
for us to be able to maintain this continuity of leadership, the first assignment for you today is, I want you to sit and think, what's your purpose of life? What is the vision that you have? What is that you have set out to accomplish? Think. There are various ways you can find that also.
Yes.
But think. I think that's the first step. Start thinking, what are you here for? The second thing is, what are the values that I want to live up to or
yes,
have been living up to?
Yes.
Do I need to add some more to the list that I have?
Yes.
Can I look up to someone and see these are the values even I would like to inculcate?
Yes.
So a list of values that you would like to inculcate or you're already living to. And your beliefs. Are these empowering beliefs? So belief about yourself, belief about your people, belief about your relationship, belief about the world, belief about life, belief about your company, belief about what you're doing. We all have beliefs in every area of life because that's the compass which directs us. So what are my beliefs? Are they good enough or I need to change them? If they're good enough, then what are those? I want you to be ready with your vision, with your values and your beliefs. And both of us will lead you to becoming an amazing leader. Guys, this I can tell you with 100% authenticity and guarantee. My clients have grown. One of the most important reasons for that growth was we've helped them become amazing leaders.
Absolutely.
They come to us when they're an individual contributor or they've just become a manager.
Yes.
But we take them from a manager to a
leadership.
And that's why they succeed wherever they go.
100%.
And their team is really happy with them.
Yes.
In today's era, where we are talking about the great resignation period, you're such an asset if you can retain your team. You're such an asset if you can lead your team through the crisis. And all that, only a true leader can make it happen.
Absolutely.
So if you want to be an asset to your organization, if you want to achieve something great in life, you need to lead. And the matter of fact is, we don't only lead at work, we also lead at the family.
Absolutely. I think we are leaders everywhere. Even if somebody is a housewife, she's leading the children. If you're a father, you're leading your children. If you're a son, you're leading your parents. So we are leaders in friends, family, society, and in work. Everywhere we are leaders. So these qualities of leadership is going to be helpful in all aspects of life. So please do this exercise. This is what we do with our client. Every session we end for a client is an exercise for the next session. And that's what we are actually doing. We're actually practically now coaching all of you here. So that's what we want you to do. Do this exercise.
What I'm posting is helping someone somewhere out there.
Absolutely. It gives a lot of fulfillment because the reason we do it is that how can we help you people out there to able to ace your career, help you to create breakthroughs in your life? Because we all reach a stage in life where we get stuck. Absolutely. And that's not a good place to be. Absolutely. And that not only affects your professional life, but you carry that self in your personal life and in your health, and everything goes for a huge toss. Like recently we lost a very good friend of ours, and a very young guy with so much of pressure, and could not handle the work life properly, and in that stress he lost his life. That's so sad.
And just in late 40s.
Absolutely. He's just as age that we are.
So probably would have at least 10, 15 years more in his career. The children would be expecting so much from him. The real time when the kids need him, he's no more.
Yeah, he would have lived, he would have been healthy, and he would have been able to manage his work life very nicely. He would have another 40 years to live.
So, all the stress that you go through, what are the emotions that happen? How do you get stuck? What to do when the boss does it? How to appear for an interview? How to really deal with challenges at work?
Yeah.
These are small little things that I keep coming up and addressing so that I can add value.
And these are the topics which you guys only, some of the others suggest us, because we put a poll, and then based on that poll, we decide, okay, this week we're going to do this topic. So this time the topic is truly amazing. It's simply great.
So why I came up with this topic today was, I learned this in the hard way, but at the very early stage of my career, that the mantra for success is to continue learning.
Yeah.
If you don't learn, you're going to get stuck.
Yeah.
Now, learning happens in two ways. One, learning happens from your own experiences.
Yes.
So you fall, you get up, you push yourself. You fail and you learn from the failures. You're successful, you learn from your success. So one way of learning is learning from your own experience.
Absolutely.
But they become very limited, because in one lifetime, how much are you going to really fall or be successful or fail?
Very true.
But when we learn from other people's experience.
Yeah. So the second way of learning is learn from other people's experiences. Okay.
Absolutely.
Like I always tell people that if you really want to be successful, go to a guy who's failed a lot and sit one day with him, and sit with the book in the hand and ask him, tell me, what all did you do due to which you failed in your life? Because that's the biggest lesson that no book, college, no university teaches you. Now, learning can be all different ways.
So yes, so that's what I even mentioned in the post, that learning can happen from both.
Yes.
From people who have not been successful, you can learn what not to do.
Absolutely.
And from people who are successful, you can learn what to do so that you become successful.
Absolutely.
So today we are going to discuss about what to do in your career. What are the right things to do from the top notch, the most elite cream of the industry who've done so well for themselves.
Absolutely.
They've grown, they've either founded companies or they've grown the corporate ladder, but they've really created massive
I would say in a short one, these are legends.
Yes, absolutely.
Legends of the industry. And whatever that we're going to share is the views of these legends.
Yes. So people like Jack Welch, if you've heard of him, he was the one who really revived GE. Otherwise, GE would have shut down. And his became a case study in the whole of US.
Absolutely.
In fact, there's a management institute which runs and teaches the principles of Jack Welch on business management.
Yes.
So one lesson comes from him. The other lesson which comes from is one of the most buzzing word the last 1 year. Hats off to this woman from Indian industry, Indra Nui, who made it to the best.
And she makes us feel so proud that, okay, this is our female here from our country, and she's reached there.
Yes. So one of the lessons are from Indra Nui.
Yes.
The other one is who's employed millions of people across the globe, Bill Gates, who has taught us a lot on how things are going to move in the coming era.
True.
So such people are people from where I picked up. It was really very difficult to choose a top 5, because when I've gone through all these interviews of these people, I've taken down these points. It took me around 6 months to go through this entire thing. That 6 months to sum it up into 5 points in half an hour is, believe me, not doing justice. But I thought at least I can share the maximum.
True.
From all these leaders. There are 15 leaders that I studied. And what was common amongst all these 15 is what I'm going to share today.
Yes.
So guys, are you ready? If not, then get a book and a pen. Believe me.
All those people are live, and all those people are going to listen to us later. Ensure that you have a book and pen and you write every bit of it, because this is something that's going to change your life.
Right. So the very first one that I would like to share is about the most important person who decides your career. And that's your
boss.
Absolutely right. So this was said by Jack Welch. He said, never do what your boss says. What does that mean? He said, that's a basic requirement. If you're working, that's exactly what you need to do. That's bare minimum. It is not a standard. It's bare minimum expectation. If you're working in an organization, do all what your boss has said.
So never do what your boss says, but
that's only a basic requirement. In fact, what you need to do is do something which makes your boss look 10 feet taller.
Absolutely.
So how can you make your boss irrelevant in the role? Then you're due for your promotion.
Yes.
If you're depending on your boss for guidance, if you're depending on your boss for direction, if you say that he's going to tell me and I'm going to do it, then you're not raising up the corporate ladder.
Absolutely. You can learn certain things for a certain time, but then finally, it's very important that you see to it that he looks 10 times taller.
So all what you have done makes him climb the ladder.
Yes.
When he climbs the ladder,
by default, he promotes you because he says, this is the guy who's helped me to reach at my position there. Let me give him his due.
So if you want to reach the position up, you make your boss above.
Absolutely. And this is told by the legend himself, Jack Welch.
Right? So never say, do only what the boss says. That's bare minimum requirement.
Yes.
And believe me, guys, when clients come to me, the first time when I hear them, and they say they have not got the promotion, the hike they deserve, whatever, blah, blah. The reason is because they've only been doing what the boss has been saying. Yes. I did everything what the boss wanted me to. I did everything in my KRA and they still are not promoting me. That's a basic requirement. If you need the salary, that is what you're supposed to do.
But if you need promotion, you need growth, you need to do this.
So you need to know what your boss is doing and try and see how much of that part can you help him doing it so that he has time for more.
Yes.
And when he does more, he gets his promotion and you get promoted to his level.
Absolutely. In short, make your boss depend on you.
So that's the first point.
Yes.
The second point, which I just shared, and the key again is keep learning.
Yes.
In today's day and era, believe me, friends, there is nothing more important than learning continuously and constantly. So keep learning. And when you learn, don't keep it to yourself. Make your environment more smarter.
Yes.
So how can you learn something and teach it to the environment or bring fresh new ideas to the environment?
Absolutely.
That is how you grow in your career.
So if you want to grow and if you want to progress, it's very important that you learn. You can't, like every single day, 2 hours individually we give on learning. We spend on learning every day. Like you see, we are just surrounded by books everywhere. So there's a book in my office, there's a book in my dining table, there's books in my sofa set, there's a book in my bedroom. Everywhere there is book because whenever I get time, I ensure I'm learning something new because that's how I'm adding value to my life. And because I'm adding value to my life, I'm going to add value to my client's life.
Absolutely right. So keep learning and keep making the environment more smarter.
Yes.
So your presence should create that effort or that effect in the environment that that growth in you is changing the environment.
Absolutely. And that's why I have fresh thinking, new ideas, new thinking. You know why? Because somewhere the boss is stuck. And now you have that opportunity to have a learning curve here. Keep learning and come up with new ideas, come up with something freshness, which the boss says, wow, this is great.
So if the same meetings, the same agenda, the same things going on in the company when you meet, if you are the same, then there is no newness.
Absolutely.
You're not adding value. And that has to change.
Very
because
true.
Quarterly meetings, review, increasing business, all this remains same.
Yes.
What changes is the creative thinking of an employee who can add to business, reduce the cost, add more revenue.
Very true.
Ensure that the team is performing more efficiently, or how can the work environment be more harmonious? In any ways that you can contribute to make your environment smarter, you're thinking creatively, believe me, you're up the corporate ladder.
Which means minimum, I would repeat, minimum half an hour a day spend on learning something new.
The third one, build your brand.
Yes.
How do you build your brand? Now, this comes from the famous lady Indira Nooyi.
Yes.
She said, build your brand, be the go-to person, be the person people can rely on. People have to come to you for solutions. So if you have read her book or you've gone through her interviews, she did mention one of the legal projects which she just was not aware. She had nothing to do with it. It was entirely a legal function. But she went there when the boss told her that I want you to run this project because those people are not able to do it.
Very true.
She said, I'm still here, stuck in work. He said, that I don't know, but I know that you have to take this up and make it running successfully. She took that work. She went to the lawyers. She went to the outsourced lawyers, to her legal department, translated all that into simple ideas, ensured that the entire thing got executed. That is why she's reached where she's reached. It's not happened free of cost, dear friends.
Absolutely.
So people don't grow just like that. They're really taking that
So the
effort.
best way to grow in life is become dependable. Let people come to you for solution. Let people depend on you. Building a brand means, what are you known for?
Absolutely
in the
right.
industry, in the company, in the organization? Like, okay, is this person known for producing result no matter what? Is this person known for negotiation? Is this person known for sales? What is that you're known for is what you build your brand. Like for example, Dhoni is known for that whenever the entire team is in a dire situation, he'll perform.
Right.
Ye to abhi perform karega. He's known for that. That's exactly what is building your brand. And that's only possible when you're known for giving solutions.
So guys, that's how he became a captain, right?
Yes.
And he became a captain who really delivered because he started becoming the leader of the team much before he was a captain.
Yes.
So whenever the team was in crisis, people would come together and he would be the one person who was giving
That's a beautiful word she used, crisis. So when people go to crisis, the one name they should remember is you. Iske paas chalte, ye kar payega. Iske paas chalte, ye kar payegi. Now that is how you build a brand slowly and gradually. And that brand becomes huge.
Yes. So you, in short, become irreplaceable in the company.
Yes.
Each and everyone is talking about you, and the talking is just not your team. Like I said, Indra Newey had nothing to do with the legal department, but her boss knew that if something is not working,
she'll do it.
It has to be executed. There can be no better person than her, and she made it happen.
So please reflect before we end and after we end that what am I known for? What is my brand value in the market? What am I known for? Am I known as a solution provider? Am I known as a go-getter?
Or am I known as a
nuisance maker? Am I known as a lazy guy? Am I known as a latecomer? What is that I'm known for is important.
Right? So become a person whom people can rely on,
yes,
trust on, be the go-to person. If there is a challenge, you're the name. If there is a challenge, your name pops up. If something has to be executed, go to this guy, he'll know it. If some resources have to be tagged, go to him, he will know it.
Absolutely.
He'll be able to connect you to the right source. This should be your reputation and your brand. Welcome, Vasim, for the session. I'm glad to have you. And welcome, Yogesh. So, dear friends, that's the third thing. The fourth one, again, comes from this great lady because I knew it would be impossible for her, being a woman, in the corporate world, in one of the most dynamic industry, to have not faced politics, right? So she said, don't play politics. Don't get involved in politics. Don't dirty your hands. But be aware of what's happening around you.
Absolutely.
Now that was one lesson which I learned at this stage from her, because I remember I exactly for that same reason lost my job. My first job, I lost it because I was not aware
what's
happening around me, right? So politics, don't play it. Don't dirty your hands, because if you get into that game, it's a vicious cycle. You don't grow. Somewhere, some point of the time, you'll get stuck.
Yes.
And you'll be thrown off.
But at the same time,
it's not a great place to be in politics.
Like I know so many people saying that I'm not interested in this politics. I'm not interested in politics. Of course, you should not be interested in politics. Why should you be? We're not politicians, but you should always be interested about what's happening around you, what's happening in the environment, what's happening in the company, what's happening in your team, what's happening in the organization, what's happening in the industry. You should know what's happening, because otherwise you become a political target.
Right.
And then you crib and cry. You know why? Because you want to be naive all your life, thinking that innocence is bliss. No, it's not every time. We are in the world where we need to be aware of what's happening around us, who is doing what's going on, so that not that we can play politics, but we can be wise enough to protect ourselves.
Absolutely right.
That's the idea.
So if you've created a brand, and if someone has tried to play politics against you, and if you're aware of what is happening, you can reach out to the right people and protect yourself and keep growing.
Absolutely. Like my spiritual mentor told this a long years ago, that either people grow or they become jealous. Which means if you are growing, if you are progressing, you are the go-getter, you are the solution provider, you are the brand, which means there are a lot of people who want to be jealous about your growth because they can't grow. Now, these are the people, courageous people are people who come on the front and they attack you. But jealousy people are cowards who always try to attack you from behind. And that's what playing politics is all about.
So most of the times they're incompetent people.
Yes.
Who don't have any specific competence. The only competence they have is how to keep placing people from this place to here, go behind their back, do backbiting, create a rumor, grapevine, and that's how they progress in their career. That's not the right way to grow, because somewhere at some stage you get stuck, and you get stuck badly.
Yes.
And your reputation carries before you, and you don't get a new job.
Absolutely.
So don't play politics, but be aware of what's happening. Lesson number 5. This comes from Bill Gates. He said 1/3 of jobs will change in the coming times.
Yes.
1/3 of the jobs we're already seeing.
Massive number.
Things changing, right? Automation coming up in massive way.
Absolutely.
AI taking over. Today, we are not seeing it in our country, but we are seeing it in different places where without a driver, they're driving cars. Just imagine transportation, if logistics starts without a person, how many people will be jobless? So keep an eye on what's happening and keep upgrading and keep updating. If you're not bringing creativity, if your job is an automated thing, you're doing the same thing every single day, you'll just be replaced.
Because what is the whole AI robot all about? Replace those people's job who are doing the same mundane job,
repetitive mundane
job, day in, day out. Like, ye dala, ye rakh diya. Now, why you need anybody? You just hire a robot or AI, he'll do it for you.
Absolutely right.
So, which means if I need to compete in the coming years, we are not competing with humans, my friends.
So he said two areas that you should really be keen and aware.
Yes.
One is data.
Data
in so many different ways,
yes.
Right? We really know today, every time in 24 hours, probably 80 times you'd have heard the word data. Data privacy, data analytics, data scientists,
yes.
How to use the data, people are buying data, people are selling
data. Oh my God.
Everything is happening. It's a buzzword.
First thing people want is your data. For anything, they want to give you free. For data. They're not interested in giving something you free. But in return, they want your data.
So guys, data is one word, and second word is social sciences. Social sciences. What's happening with humans? What's happening with the environment?
Yes.
What are people going through?
Yes.
Emotionally, medically, physically. That is really, yes, that's going to create a load of change in the coming era.
Very
so
true.
If you're not aware of these two things happening, you're out of
absolutely
the right place in this working
So how do you
world.
beat this? Something called as automation, AI, robots and everything is only one way. Be innovative. Keep upgrading, keep learning so that you beat them, because they are going to be fed only what you are doing mundane. But if you are a person who is upgrading and doing something new again and again and again and again, it's very difficult to beat you. It's very difficult to copy your style. It's very difficult to replace you, because every time you've learned something new, you applied something new, and you've come up with something new, which now they don't know, okay, but humko to laga tha, ye kar raha hai, but this is new. That's how you're going to beat AI. That's how you're going to beat a robot.
So guys, we actually are supposed to be creative species, right?
Yeah.
Humans have this called as brain, which no one has.
Because we are only creating AIs and robots.
So if I have this, I better use it.
Yes.
Why should I restrict myself saying this is what I get paid? I just go there, do my job and come back. If I just do my job and come back,
absolutely,
I'm only getting paid the salary, and tomorrow I'll become redundant.
Absolutely. Now there are two category of people who are going to listen to them and react. One category say, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. अपने देश में होने को 50 साल लगेगा, मेरा career खत्म हो जाएगा. And there are second people who will take it seriously, and they will start like When I heard this 10 years back from Tony Robbins, our mentor, and I said, wow, this is happening. Okay. And if he's saying, which means it's really happening. And we started, that's why we have done so much of innovation in our own lives in terms of our professional life. So much. We're learning so much because we don't want to be redundant. We don't want that somebody is just replacing us.
Virtual world is such a big reality, a part of our life.
Oh my God.
People are just reaching out from any part of the world to each other, which was never possible 2 years back, right? So just keep being aware of what's happening around us. Now, these are the 5 lessons. I'll reiterate, and then to add a little more value.
We'll give you bonus 2 more, but let's reiterate the first 5.
So first one, never do only what your boss asks you to do. That is a basic requirement. Right, guys? You've been hearing us.
But do
yes,
what makes your boss sees 10 feet taller.
So do what makes your boss look 10 feet taller. So he's being smarter because of your presence. Second, keep learning and make your environment smarter. Be more creative, bring new ideas to the table.
Absolutely.
Your presence should add value. There are many people who come to the meeting and they go out of the meeting. They come with a notepad, they don't do anything, they just step out. They're only in the meetings for a cup of chai or a snack, and that's the value add they do. They do nothing beyond that. You can't be one of them. If you have to grow in your corporate ladder, you're bringing in fresh ideas.
Absolutely.
You're making the environment smarter.
Yes.
Right? There's another thing. The third point. Build your brand.
What are you going to be known for in the industry, in the company, in the organization?
So guys, brand is anyways getting built. If you're a nuisance maker, you've already built a brand. If you don't know anything, you're incompetent, you've built a brand. If you're a person who's complaining all the time, you're branded as a complacent person.
We all are known for something. Like in our industry, we are known for 100% results. Touch wood till now. Not a single client.
Yeah, but that's a brand built.
We built this brand, okay? Where not even a single client, hundreds of people we've coached, both of us put together in this 1 decade almost. Not even one client in whatever area they have come for, we're not able to produce results.
Right. So you know what? If you don't think about it, you'll never be able to build it.
Yes.
Right? So for that, you need to think, what do I need to become? Who do I need to become?
Yes.
And to start from there, become a go-to person in the organization. You should be a solution provider. You should be a person who can be trusted, relied upon. In times of crisis, you should be the person people should reach out to. Something has to be executed immediately. You should be the person having connections and resources. Today's time and age, you don't even have to know people personally, physically, meeting them. Nothing is required. You can even connect to this virtual reality.
So which means you need to first sit tonight and think, what should I be known for in the coming year and the years in my market, in the organization, in the company? What should I be known for? And that's what you start working reverse. First decide, what are you wanting to be known for? Once you decide, this is what I want to be, like, there's a friend of mine, he's known as best in the world for providing one particular domain in the telecom industry, is the best in the world. You've no idea that how all the companies are behind him, because nobody in the entire world does what he does in one particular domain. That's his branding. Okay. So that's the third thing. Fourth thing.
So people are coming to you for solutions. People are coming to you for resources. People are coming to you for knowledge, expertise, experience. That is what is your brand.
Yes.
Then the fourth one, very, very crucial.
Very crucial.
And it's been spoken about day in and day out by people. That's the reason many a times people leave the organization. And that word is politics.
Absolutely.
So like I said, don't play politics.
But be aware of it.
Yes. Don't dirty your hands in politics.
Yes.
That's a very vicious
Nobody
cycle.
leaves the job because the company is bad. People leave the job because the boss or juniors play politics.
Right.
And that's why, and because you were not aware, don't be a part of it. Be aware of it.
So that you can protect yourself, you can take care of yourself, and you can grow the corporate ladder.
Good evening, Rajesh.
And then from Bill Gates, 1/3 of the jobs are going to change by 2030. So really look at your job. Is it something that can be replaced?
Yes.
If it can be replaced, it's time to make a transition in your career. So transit, look at the jobs. If it is a repetitive, mundane task, if it is not using your creativity, if it is not challenging you intellectually, then it's a job that can be replaced, dear friends. So please keep looking into it. And he said 2 key buzzing words we should be aware. One is data and second is social sciences.
Now giving you the bonus, the balance to bonus from her side.
So one more which all of them said was, be surrounded by amazing minds. Be surrounded by amazing minds. Surround yourself with people who are better than you. Now, you know, most of the times we want to be with peer circle where we are comfortable. We should not be seen as, oh, I don't know this. Oh my God, this is not.
Or we want to be with people who are not better than us so that they give us all the importance.
Absolutely.
And we feel great. Like, you know, I was just speaking to one of the clients yesterday and she was saying that, you know, she's so happy, she's so excited, you know, and I asked her, okay, tell me the 5 friends that you're with. She's a little small teenage girl, you know, and she gave names. And I asked her how good academic these people are, below average. How good they are in sports, below average. How good they are in art, dramatic, below average. And where are you? I said average. Oh, wow. So she feels great being with below average. I said, why is it that in your college, none of the kids who are great and excellent are wanting to spend time with you? You know why? Because she's below average for them. So many a times we do this mistake that we feel jealous about these people on the top, people who are growing, people who are better than us. And then that's a problem. Rather, look up to them and see what is that makes them to reach where they are.
So when you're surrounded with these amazing minds, with people who are better than you, there are so many ways you can learn. You can observe them.
Yes.
And you can learn.
Yes.
You can listen to them and you can learn. You can participate in their discussions and you can learn.
What they achieved in 20 years, you can achieve in 2 years. By just being with them, learning from them, because they did whatever they could. Now 20 years of experience, they come to you, they give it to you, and you apply that and you grow in 2 years.
And believe me, friends, today, in the age that we are living, there are so many people who have grown to a peak of their career and they're absolutely open to mentoring you. They don't keep, they're not reserved. They don't have any challenges. It's all about you.
So
how do you
she's given a beautiful word, I would say. Ensure, in short, you have mentor in life. These great-minded people, you need to have these in your life as a form of a mentor.
Yes. So be surrounded by these people.
Yes.
Either in your company or it can be outside through these professional platforms.
Yes.
But wherever you're planning to move ahead in your career, look at those people around you.
Absolutely.
And reach out to them, stay connected to them, learn from them.
Yes. And here I'm telling open, I've never said that, but not because I'm a coach, but I'm saying, please hire a coach. Okay. First time I'm saying, because you need that person who is there, who's been through all of this. And now that person is going to guide you with his mind, with his experience to ensure that you grow.
And the most important, that's why it's the last, right? Life is about dreams or life is about vision, right? We all have a dream that we come to this corporate world for. There's something that we want to achieve for our lives. We want to become like someone. We want to create something. We want to do something. We want to become something.
We want to leave a legacy and go back.
Absolutely right. And if nothing of this is true for you, then you're not meant to be in this corporate world. You're not meant to be in work world. Then you're just going there to make the money.
Absolutely. It's like a job, going every day, finishing your job, taking your package, taking your money and coming back home.
So life is about dreams. Life is about a vision.
Yes.
That's the first part. And then the reality hits us. So my dream is this, but the real world is like this. Real people are like this. The reality of the era is like this. We are going through this phase of life. So that is reality.
Yes.
So one side is my dream, second is the reality. Now, I need to have that strong determination to ensure that I make my dream a reality.
So to be able to convert your dream into reality, there's one thing that you need, and that is determination.
Absolutely. Plan to retire.
So one important point I wanted to write down, everybody who is live here, is that, you know, my mentor Tony Robbins always says that progress equals to happiness. So many a time, one of the biggest reasons that we are not happy is because we don't progress. And that's the key. So the whole idea of this whole program that we are doing for 1 year, completely every Friday, is help you to ace your career, which means how will you progress? How will you move it? How will you grow from here so that you live a very happy and excited life? Now, when I'm saying life, because 70% of our time goes into our career. And if there we are not happy, then naturally it's going to be unhappy life overall. And that's why.
I agree completely. Nothing can be more truth than this.
Yes.
That if you're happy in your work life, all that happiness is shown in other aspects of your life. You're absolutely leading a healthy life.
Yes.
You're sharing amazing relationship with your family.
Absolutely.
You're happy, and that's why you're spreading happiness. You're making the money so that you can provide for your loved ones.
Like I'm sure all of you can reflect that whenever your day goes great, you've been appreciated, you've been told nice, you could fulfill your target, or you overachieved and some form. And then when you go back home, the way you enter the house, that itself, everybody comes to know that my father or my husband or my wife or my mother is excited. Something great has happened because it spreads. But if your boss humiliated you, or you were not treated well, or something happened which you were not expecting, and now you're low, you're dull, you're sad. And then when you go home, it spreads. Everybody comes to know that the father or the mother is not happy. So let's maintain a different set of a style to live in the house.
Expectations reduce.
Absolutely.
All of a sudden there's a silence.
Silence.
And there's a tense environment where people don't know what to talk.
Absolutely.
Right, guys? So if you want a lovely environment at home, you have to ace in your career.
Absolutely.
And today, the topic for today is the power of self-education.
Yes.
Believe me, guys, this is the day and age that you just cannot ignore self-education.
Yep.
And before I start this topic on how to really create your own school, build your own school for this education,
Yes.
I would like to start from a wonderful quote by Jim Rohn. There can be no one better than Jim Rohn to explain this. He says, formal education, that is doing your degree course, right?
Yes.
12th, graduation, post-graduation, PhD, doctorate, whatever. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune.
Yes.
That important is self-education. Of course, this Jim Rohn said maybe 40, 50 years back.
Yep.
But the relevance of that statement is much more today. Why is it relevant today? Why the importance of self-education? That's what, guys, we are going to discuss here today. How important it is to educate yourself, right? So we are all living in that age of change. I always say this to my clients. It's a change which is moving with a very fast pace.
Absolutely.
2 years, our entire world has changed upside down.
Everything has changed. Our work style has changed. We are all sitting from home, most of us, and working. Everything changed in these 2 years, which we never even dreamt of. We never expected that kind of change. But you know what? Again, Tony Robbins saying, change is automatic. And if you see, we all changed with that. As time changed, we also started changing. We adapted the new style, the new technology, the new way of living. Even now, habitually we all wear masks. It's become a part of a life. Without the mask, you first check whether you have the mask or no. You changed.
So guys, because we are living in a world where the dynamics are very, very strong. The entire world is really being very volatile.
Yeah.
So much of uncertainty happening. Technology moving with a fast pace. One illness, and it put the whole world to a full stop.
True.
It was just not one city, one country, but the entire world. I think something that we experienced only after Second World War.
Absolutely.
That the world came to a full stop.
Yes.
And these kind of things will keep happening. Plus, globalization. We are truly experiencing that.
Yes.
My clients, they have two bosses. One who's in India, one who's in US, or UK, or Europe, or Japan.
Absolutely.
And they're starting their day at a different time. So they wake up in the morning and start their sessions at 6:37 because they have to log into the the Japan timing.
Yeah.
Guys have started working there. The boss is there. Or they are sitting late in the evening. So their day starts at 12 because they have to report to UK or US. And there's a client of mine who starts her day early in the US, and then she extends her day in the evening because she is getting connected to The people sitting in
Absolutely.
India.
There's a client of mine, he starts at 8 o'clock and he ends at 2 o'clock. Okay, why? Because different timings going on here and he has to handle both. Now, this is the age and era that we are going in.
So which means what? A change in Europe is going to affect me sitting here in Pune. And that is why it's very, very important that you keep upgrading yourself.
Yes.
Keep updating yourself. And that's where the importance of self-education.
Yes.
How do you grow from here? And believe me, guys, the next important thing that we all need to remember, it's again an age and era of AI, artificial intelligence,
yes,
which is going to replace us if we are monotonous, if we are doing the same thing. There is no new creativity. We are just going there and behaving like a machine. I come here, I sit, I do this, and I go back. I'll be replaced. If I'm not really utilizing something called as my brain to create something new, to automate something, to make my process efficient, to really help a team building, to participate in the vision, something that I'm contributing in new creative ways, I'll be redundant.
Very true.
So if you're in your 20s, you have still 40 years to go. If you're in your 30s, you have 30 years to go. If you're in your 40s, you have 20 years to go. And most of us who are in our 40s, like me and Dheeraj, we don't want to retire at 60.
No.
So we are going to work to 70, 75, probably 80.
Easily. I see myself today, I know 80 is easy.
So again, 30, 40 years more to work.
Yeah.
So I need to be updated. And that's why self-education is a must.
Yeah.
So, you know, many a times, like in the times that we studied, there was only one choice. So art, science, commerce. If you take science, physics, maths, chemistry, biology, everything was compulsory. This is the education pattern. And we wished I could do something of my choice.
Yeah.
That didn't happen then, but it can happen now.
Now, absolutely.
One beautiful example which Steve Jobs would quote regularly, that he missed his real subjects, but he went and attended literature. And that's where he fell in love with the font. And that's why Apple and today all of us have these beautiful things. When we write anything, we can choose which font I would love to use. If it's a romantic letter, I'm going to use cursive. If it's a formal letter, I'm going to use Arial. You know, different kinds of formats.
Yeah.
If Steve Jobs wouldn't have taken that self-education, probably this wouldn't be here.
Absolutely.
There's so many such examples where because that person chose,
very true,
choose something which to educate and uplift himself or herself, it built a career. So Dheeraj, why don't you share an example of self-education in your life?
Okay, so I can say my second job was working as a sales guy, and it was a technical company. Okay, it was a construction chemical company. Now most of these sales guys who were working with me, either they were civil engineer or chemical engineer. Now I come from a commerce background, okay, and I have no clue. So first day when I entered the field, I realized that the questions that have been asked to me, I have no clue about it. Okay, what do I answer? Because I didn't know. I did it for 15 days a month. I realized I'm not able to sell. So then I thought one thing for sure, that if I want to sell a product, I need to learn. Just learning the brochures and pamphlet, it's not enough. So I was very fortunate at the age, in 1994, I encountered my mentor, my coach, and he told me that why don't you learn from the company itself and how are these entire products been designed and chemicals have been made and everything. I spoke to my boss. I said, can I learn? He said, why not? You can learn, but we're going to pay you salary for 2 months. I said, I'm fine with it. I went to the factory.
So imagine he's not going to be paid for 2 months.
Absolutely. And not that I was in a financial situation that I'm today. I was in a financial situation where every month's salary was really important. But I realized that if I want to be a great sales guy, if I want to sell, if I want to sustain my job, and if I want to be the best here, I went to the factory. I went to the factory, 2 months I worked there, and Sam was one of the technical director. He loved my decision. He said, what a courageous guy. He said, every evening, 5:30 to 9:30, I'm going to sit with you and I'm going to teach you everything. 2 months, I loved it. I learned everything, the real stuff, okay? The chemical, the polymers, everything I learned. And then I come back and I go in the market. And then I crack crazy orders. Orders which these civil engineers and because all bookish, and I know practically by touching the sand, by touching the chemical, I know exactly what it is. And that's why I was able to crack serious amount of big orders, something which nobody expected. And it turned the fortune of my life.
So guys, that's how you can educate yourself, choosing. If you want to excel in where you are, you can choose to educate
And
yourself.
let me tell you, I'm sorry, let me tell you the return part here, that the 2 month salary, the order that I started clicking was so massive that our company turnover had grown double or triple time. And not only that, my owner, from whatever salary I had, he made it 3 times the salary. And the 2 month salary, which he didn't pay me, he gave me that. Plus, he gave me that time. I'm talking in the year 95. He paid me a 5,000 rupees cash.
Wow.
As an incentive. He was so happy because I turned around everything.
5,000 cash incentive, but ask him what was his salary.
My salary was 1,200. Okay, they made it 3,600 plus 2 months salary was given plus 5,000 cash. All these benefits, all these returns because of that one decision, self-education. I'll go and educate myself.
So guys, that's how it's really important that you take efforts to educate yourself.
Yep.
Now, how do you do it? So we all get through this formal education. You choose whichever field, science or commerce.
Very true.
Most of the engineers who are doing engineering in mechanical or telecom end up landing into a software company and are writing codes, right? So we all land up in a job. Now, when we land up in a job, we like something, we don't like something.
Absolutely.
That's where you start designing how to educate yourself. So the next part of the topic was how to create your own school, right? How to build your own school. So that school begins with you choosing your paths.
Yeah.
You choosing your subject. You deciding when you're going to study what.
Yes. And who's going to be a mentor? Who's going to teach you?
So yes, first is how, right? So how do I design my own, syllabus?
Yeah.
I'm fortunate that I can design my own syllabus when I start working.
Yep.
So I actually literally work with my clients, with my IT engineers, what they need to upgrade. So if they're moving in the field of AI, what are the subjects they would like to work towards? If they are going to stay in development, the code, which is a language that they need to learn.
Very true.
If they're wanting to move from development and maintain people and run the project, what are the other skills that they would require? So the most important thing is, first, you decide which is a career path that you need to choose.
True.
Once you're clear on that, then you can look into various resources and jot down, if I have to move ahead, what are the skills I need to develop?
Very true.
What is the knowledge that I need to develop? Create those list of courses that you would have to go through so that you can move ahead, not with the pace of the company, that is 5% increment, 5 years later, one promotion, then I become a manager in 10 years, and then probably if everything goes well and I don't lose my job in between, then probably I will very rarely become a head of a department, right? That's a career path. But if you don't want to do that, if you want to land up becoming a CEO, CXO, MD, or probably at the 50, start your own entrepreneur company because you have experience everywhere, then you need to decide your career path. And with that career path, then choose backwards. What are the skills that I need to develop? What is the knowledge that I need to build?
Very true.
How do I really move ahead from here so that I grow, I ace in my career?
Yes.
So that's the next part that you start creating. And the skills could be what? So IT skills could be various languages. There is another aspect of career. Language itself has become such a wonderful career.
Very true.
Japanese language. Chinese pre-COVID was a very, very relevant language.
German.
German is a very relevant language. French is a relevant language. People are really paid very well if you know the language.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you enjoy teaching, or you enjoy conversing, or you enjoy translating,
very true,
you can pick up a language and learn and master yourself.
True.
So once you start, there are different levels and you need to complete those levels to grow in your career. So language could be something that you could start. What else can you do? What we do? Life skills. I feel most of the people get stuck in life skills.
Yes.
I've seen most of my clients, when they come to me in their mid-age, they're a subject matter expert.
Yes.
But they lack in life skills.
Absolutely. And after one go, as you all know, the technical part reduces and the human part or the people part or managing the people, that starts increasing more. So initially you're working all alone, so you know all the technical part, it's this much. Now slowly and gradually you have been given team of 5, and then 10, and then 20, and then 50, and then 100, and one day you become a CEO of a company.
And it really starts from being a part of the team.
Absolutely.
So if I don't know how to deal with my peers, how will I grow?
I know so many people today are struggling. Like this, I'm coaching a client, and he's doing so well for himself. But today he's stuck because he doesn't know how to deal with people skills. And especially due to COVID, if you know social skills itself, people lost. Yes. And now when they're going back to the office and they have to sit with a team of people, they're finding it so complicated and difficult.
Correct. So communication skills, art of influencing people, leadership skills, negotiation skills,
absolutely,
how to really be resilient in these crises, how to take decisions quickly, courageously when things are not going your way, how to stand tough and strong. All this has become really very important. And that is why if the IT world would know something called as agile. What is agile? It is a life skill, right? So how do you upgrade and stay tuned to the times and stand there and give your best even in the worst times?
Absolutely.
That is what is life skills. You need to upgrade your life skills as well when you're growing in your career.
Very true.
Something new, this digital world which has come up, technology which is advancing. You know, every day, today you're up there, tomorrow new technologies come and replace. You have to again start from scratch. So if you're not really learning from the globe, what's coming up next, and you're not upgrading yourself, you'll not be able to do.
Absolutely.
Another one skill or art of learning is how to handle your finances. You know, many people, this I would like to quote probably a different industry altogether. Bollywood, earlier, actors who had made so much money, but they retired, and in their retirement life, they were, you know, struggling for pennies.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were on the streets. They didn't know. They led such a miserable life and had such miserable deaths because they didn't handle their finances well.
Yes.
So finance also is a skill. Why not take some time out and learn how to handle your finances?
Absolutely.
So that it's not only that you made money, but you saved it in the right place so that you can have a wonderful lifestyle.
If you see from 90s onwards, the actors started not only making money, but they started also ensuring they are investing the money in different businesses or in the same field. And that's how you know they have become billionaires. There are few actors who are billionaires. You know why? Because they are the people who realize the power of investing, the power of seeing that whatever money is coming, how am I investing it? So the power of finance or educating yourself on finance is equally important as compared to educating yourself in technology and human life skills.
Correct. So guys, everything is important and relevant.
Yes.
Instead of wasting your time on scrolling things and looking at what Aishwarya Rai did or Amitabh Bachchan did, it's not going to help you, right? Or probably somewhere someone sitting in some country or somewhere some chaos has happened is not going to help you in life.
Now there's one common line people say, I don't have time. I would like to challenge people here. That's not the truth. You do have time.
Guys, I've checked my clients and believe me, this you will find it relevant for you too. Your screen time on the phone, scrolling a Facebook or an Insta is at least 2 hours a day.
Absolutely. For majority of the people.
Yes, people who are not focused.
It's at least 2 hours a day. And if you invest 2 hours on self-education, you can reach to any level of success. Like every single day, me and my wife, both of us, invest 2 hours on study every single day.
Hi, Shitija, and hi, DB. Welcome to the session. So guys, like we said, how to do it is based on your career path, where you're choosing.
Very true.
The best part is today, even you can move from one department to other. The company itself helps you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the next part, what I'm going to discuss today is, where do you learn from? If you have to educate yourself, where do you start?
Absolutely.
Where are the resources available? So the most important resources available in your company itself. Most of the MNCs have so much information and knowledge. They have a knowledge center and you can upgrade your skills. I have a client who has joined a consulting role currently, and she's gone through her company, Knowledge Bank.
Yeah.
And there are so many certifications she's done. And believe me, in 3 months, there's so much of recognition she's received from
Absolutely.
her Indian mates and people sitting in Japan, and she's really flourishing in her
True.
career.
Very true.
There's another friend of mine who's working in a different set of company. There's so much involvement and engagement with the employee. It's just that you have to take those trainings seriously.
Yep.
So that's the first place that you can start with. It's available for free.
Free.
Let me quote my example here. So when I joined, when life insurance became private, it reached to the private company.
Privatization.
So, yes, privatization of life insurance industry happened.
2000.
So HDFC and ICICI were the 2 people who got it. HDFC was the first license holder. And fortunately, I was one of the first employees in the city that I worked. So, because it was new, they had a huge training process. We were trained for complete 15 days on the entirety of insurance. Of course, everything changed later. But this 15 days, I was into sales, right? I could have just studied the product, the feature, and the story could be over. But I didn't stop at that. I learned underwriting. I learned financial underwriting. I learned medical underwriting. I learned how does the whole process happen, still the reinsurers.
Yeah, even human life value.
And because I studied all these concepts so well, I not only did well in my job, but I could actually start my portfolio company because I'd done other products earlier, and insurance became a huge part of it. And I could, probably design a beautiful portfolio, reach out to the client. I could tell them when their premiums will be high, when it will be low. I was sure that this case is not going to go through. What are the financial documents required?
Absolutely.
Because I was so damn confident of the knowledge that I had,
absolutely,
my business flourished.
Yes.
Right? So whenever you try and go out of the way and educate yourself, believe me, friends, it helps you. I won all kind of national, international recognitions.
Very true.
Because of this effort that I took in my initial 1.5 months.
Yep.
For studying every bit of it. I could train my consultants so beautifully because I was so clear on every topic and concept of life insurance.
Very true.
So guys, you can start from your own company's knowledge bank. Where are the other places that you can go to? So Coursera, Udemy, which is the other one which is doing LinkedIn. Why should I miss out on that?
Absolutely.
LinkedIn Learning has so much for various profiles. You can go there, update your skills, get the certification done, put it in your profile. You can move to the career that you want.
Absolutely.
So any updation, you're going to go and you can do it. You can learn. You also have free material available. If you don't, like LinkedIn Learning has a cost, you don't want to invest. There's so much free available. Like we have decided to give 1 year free.
Yeah, absolutely.
On how to ace your career. If you join us live every Friday for just half an hour, I promise you, you can at least double your salary.
Absolutely, in 1 year. If you learn and apply, learn and apply, learn and apply, all that what we are teaching you, you learn and apply, in 1 year, you will double your salary. No doubt about it.
So it's free, right? All you have to do is just invest your time.
Yep.
So there are so many such free things happening. You just have to know where it is happening. So YouTube is another resource.
Yeah.
There are so many mentors and coaches who are selling it for absolutely free.
Free.
In fact, the beautiful part is my son learned certain concepts in his college from YouTube. From these professionals who were teaching that through YouTube, he enjoyed it more and he could deliver well in his exams.
Yeah.
So the younger generation is using it. Why not we all also realize the power of self-education. So YouTube could be another resource that you can tap. What else can you do? There are free online workshops happening all the time.
Yeah, that's so common today that there is so much of knowledge that people are sharing. People like us who are free going out there and wanting to share. Now, few would be wanting to make money, but there are many I know like us who genuinely feel, let them serve people, let them help people. Okay, that is such a noble thing that people are doing out there, because all of us have reached a stage that we have been successful and we want to contribute now. We feel that all this that we have gathered in so many years, every day we are learning so many things. Why not, share? Because otherwise it's utter waste. Okay. So, it's all going to go drain if I've got all the knowledge and I didn't share it with me. So sharing is a very important aspect. There are many out there. You can go through them, learn from them. They're sharing. It's just that.
In fact, during COVID times, you remember, universities like Harvard were downloading so much for free.
Yes.
So, you don't even have to invest.
Yes.
But you can start your journey from free. And then when it starts repaying you, you can start investing money, time, and energy.
Very true. Very true.
Next, whom can you go and learn it from?
Yeah.
So people who have walked the path before, who have got the results that you want.
That's very critical, okay? That's very critical.
Yes. So you can reach out to coaches and mentors, coaches who are coaching you, people like us, mentors who are in the existing company. You can reach out, and believe me, I've seen people, most of them are very happy if you reach out to them and say, sir, this is what I don't know. I want you to mentor me on this.
Absolutely.
That person will definitely remove time. Culture is changing at work.
Yes.
They will remove time and they'll mentor you.
Yes.
So you can approach various mentors in your field. If you don't have them in your company, you can reach out to these professional network like LinkedIn. Tell them, reach out to them and ask them for mentorship. There are so many people
who are willing.
Yes, they're volunteering to be a mentor.
Yeah. They've reached a stage of life, as I said, that they're realizing that now contribution is going to be the most important need. Everybody, I would not say everybody, but there are majority of people who reach a stage of life where they feel, now let me give back.
Absolutely correct.
God gave me everything. Society gave me everything. This work gave me everything. This country gave me everything. Now let me give back. And this give back is a very deep-rooted gratitude that we want to repay to people. And that's why genuinely they put everything out there to help people.
Then there's a beautiful thing which has started initiating in these networks. Social platforms, whether it's Facebook or it is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is more professional, so I would recommend LinkedIn to you. Where people, like, I remember reading one post where a CA was saying that I'm wanting to gather like-minded individuals where we can help each other exchange opinions. So these kind of things are also available. All you need to do is do a little bit of research. And get connected to the right resources.
Absolutely.
And guys, when you start getting results, it's told that at least 10% of your money should go into savings. Ideal is 33%. I feel 10 to 20%. If you invest on yourself,
absolutely.
If 10% of your income you're investing on your growth, that gives you 200% growth in your salary.
Absolutely.
If you don't invest in yourself, you grow by 3 to 5%. If you invest in yourself, you go by 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70%. One of our clients has had 100% hike in her existing
company.
Right? So she didn't even have to move from the company. That happens when you start educating yourself. So invest 10%, get a return of 50%. There is no such product existing anywhere.
Investment in the market which says that this is the kind of returns you will get if you invest on yourself. Like, you want to make more money. Very simple. Jim Rohn says, add more value in the market.
Yes.
And to add more value in the market, you need to become more valuable. And to become more valuable, you first need to add value in your own life.
So guys, we discussed today why is self-education important? How can you educate yourself? How can you design your own path of education?
And
choose your own syllabus. And where is it available? I think if you go through this session, even when you're watching your replay, please take down notes, do a little bit of research and set yourself on a track.
And only one last point for all of you.
Please go ahead.
One last point for all of you. The moment you're going to finish this, the moment you're going to watch this, please take action. Because if you're going to just listen to this and keep it and say, okay, theek hai, it's okay, kal dekhta hu, that kal never comes, that tomorrow never comes. So do it now. Take some action towards working on your own self, educating your own self.
And if you're doing that, you're 100% acing your career. So tonight we are going to have a very beautiful topic that we are going to delve into. It's going to be a deep dive. So I would love all of you to have a paper and pen with you. If you don't have, you can take those 5-10 seconds, go quickly, grab a paper and pen, because this is really going to help you
Absolutely.
discover yourself.
All those who are live and all those who are going to see us later, ensure you have a paper and pen, because this is a discovery session and we're going to have questions for you, which is going to change your life.
So let's take a deep dive on knowing yourself.
Yes.
And how does that really impact your career? Does it really make a difference or no? That's what we're going to look at, and what is the connection between the two.
Yes.
So once again, welcome everyone for a very thought-provoking conversation that we are going to continue today for half an hour on what's the impact on knowing yourself and that impact on your career journey.
Yes.
It's something which is really very underestimated topic. But this insight that it has relevance to your career, knowing yourself has relevance to your career and to your life, actually dates back to the ancient days of Socrates, his disciple Plato, his disciple Aristotle, and finally it finds resonance in the life of Alexander the Great. So let's really unravel this wisdom and understand how it shapes our path to success.
So the first question that I want to put to all of you, you would be thinking, why is self-awareness such a game changer? So picture this, okay? Socrates, the forefather of philosophy, passed down his teaching to Plato, who then shared them to Aristotle. This legacy of wisdom transcends time. Even the great Alexander the Great acknowledged the influence of self-awareness in his victories. This established a direct correlation between self-awareness and career achievements.
So we all know there's no greater example than Alexander the Great, who set out to conquer the world. And he could do it because he could conquer himself. How could he conquer himself? Because he knew himself, right? So that's why, how does lacking this self-awareness impact our career journey? In our modern age, we often are so engrossed in looking at and understanding other people's expectation and aligning ourselves with them. Expectations from initially probably our parents, then it could be our siblings, it could be our peers, our friends. As we grow up, it becomes our bosses, then it becomes our life partner, then it becomes our siblings, our children. And all the time, the focus is on understanding them and trying to fulfill their expectations. Now, while doing this, what happens? When you don't look into yourself and you're aligning with them, this actually takes you away from the path of your own passion.
Very true.
And it leaves you with that resenting feeling of everything that has gone wrong in your life. Why did it go wrong? Because of these external reasons. This person, this situation, this incident, this economy, this country, and it goes on and on.
On and on. Absolutely. The blame game goes. I so truly believe. You would also be wondering, thinking that is really knowing yourself can be a hinder in your career success? That question would be coming in your mind. So let me answer absolutely. Without self-awareness, our confidence wanes and decision becomes uncertain. We may act based on others' opinions or societal norms rather than our true desires. Shockingly, our education system usually sidelines this vital lesson, which means most of us tread life's path without actually truly comprehending our own identities. It is so important. Like, I truly believe one of the key reasons for my success in life is knowing myself. I did this exercise a long back, and based on that, I have made all the choices due to which I'm leading a very happy, successful, and fulfilled life. So I truly believe that it does plays a very important role in hinder your growth if you don't know yourself.
So let me quote some examples from my clients whom I've been coaching. So, there's one of my clients, she's a female client, not really happy with her career. When she came to me, we started working on her growth of her career. She achieved something what she wanted. And there again, she started regressing. You know why? because it again becomes about aligning herself with her people without taking that effort of knowing herself. And this is what she's been doing over 17 years of her married life. And that is why constantly, time and again, she takes a flight in her career and then she drops down.
Yeah.
Because somewhere her goals are not aligned with her people. Her goals are not aligned with her family.
Yep.
And that is where there is so much of resentment in the most intimate relationship. Now tell me, is it really worthwhile that you would suffer in this relationship which gives you the maximum amount of happiness? This is where the greatest encouragement and support comes from, but it's not happening because I am not being able to express myself.
Yep.
Why am I not able to do it? Because probably I also don't know myself. I've never taken that effort. And unfortunately, school, college also teaches us to focus on external things.
Yeah.
We are taught to learn history, science, geography, maths, all kind of subjects, but we are never taught to really learn something about
our own self.
Absolutely true. So, do you believe that this self-knowledge can really impact our career outcomes? It definitely is. Imagine this. You are acknowledging your strengths. You're deploying them strategically. And that has all happened because you're self-aware. You know what are your strengths. And that is where you get to know where will you shine and where you need support. Now, when I need support, I don't go in the world of ego or arrogance. Instead, I realize that if I have to win this project, if I have to deliver an outcome, I know that I need this person's help. I need that person's help. And by default, I become a team player. And that becomes very seamless. So it's really important to know your strengths and how to deploy them towards the growth in your career.
You know, but is it facing our strengths and weakness challenging? That's the thought people would be getting. Of course it is. And that's the crux of it. Self-assessment often makes us uneasy. Gazing inward forces us to confront our imperfections. Yet this process of knowing yourself is pivotal. It's the defining factor in your journey to success, helping you comprehend your strengths and the areas that require development, because still you don't know who exactly you are. What are your strengths? The SWOT that we talk about, the SWOT analysis. It is so difficult for you to actually realize the core reason of failure. Could be you not knowing yourself. You know, like somebody is a absolutely introvert person, and that person has taken a job of a salesperson. Imagine the pain and agony, forget failure, the pain and agony, the fear and anxiety that person would be building to go out there and meet new people. But because you know yourself that this is who I am, now if I'm an introvert guy, then I need to get into a profession where I can do a great listening job, where I don't need to meet much people, and I'll be too successful. This is just an example I'm giving. So that's why I know it's pretty challenging to work on yourself. We don't like to be vulnerable even to ourselves. We don't want to come out with our own weaknesses. We are scared. But the fact it's very important, and that's why you need to do it.
So we all know, right? Exams puts fear in us.
Yes.
Because we'll be judged. We'll be assessed whether we are good enough or no. And that's exactly what happens. Though we know that self-awareness is a beautiful process, it is a must for living a happy and fulfilled life, not just your career. But you know, when you're put to target and someone is going to assess you, even if it is you versus you, you're not in that comfort zone.
Yep.
You feel that, what if I get to know? I remember one of my clients, probably she came to me for coaching, and she came and explained all what she was going through. She was going through a very tough phase. But you know what? She only told me one, and that is why she didn't enroll herself. She said, what if something gets revealed and I'm not happy with that revelation?
Very true. Very true.
Then where I am, probably I'll go down even further. And I'm really scared of that revelation.
Very
because
true.
When I get to know that, then I will not be able to stop myself, and that will disturb my life. Now imagine living with that such kind of immense fear and denying your needs on a consistent basis. what is going to happen to this person 10 years down the line?
True.
Today, she's young, she's dynamic, she's been able to fight all this. She's just in her 30s. But when you reach that crucial age of 40s, I've seen so many people going through that resentment, going through that unhappiness. And then that starts showing up in many different ways.
Yes.
It comes in form of arguments and debates with your loved ones. It comes in form of illnesses, both physical and mental, and unnecessarily you start walking on the path which is taking you towards a dead zone. There is no coming back from there. So dear friends, let me tell you, it's a beautiful journey. It may be uncomfortable, but it's really better to take it. So let's try and understand in more depths, how does this understanding impact our life?
Yep.
So I would say brace yourself, because we are going to delve into this journey of self-awareness. Put in your seat belts and sit there tight with a paper and pen, because you're going to get to know, when you do this, the transformations are profound. What does self-awareness allows you to do? First, it sets crystal clear goals in your life,
Very true.
in your career, and all the important areas of your life.
Very true.
Something very beautiful that I heard last week with one of my couple clients whom I'm coaching. And we had completed the journey. And that is the day I said, now it's time for me to have a review, your feedback on how was this entire journey. So, what is that you truly gained? And the first thing that both of them said was, the most important thing that we gained through this entire coaching process was clarity. Clarity of what we want out of life. And that probably changed everything. That is why they got those results which were really impossible.
Very true.
That is what happens when you get crystal clear on your life goals.
Then you make decisions that resonate with your essence. Basically, at the core that you are, based on that, you start making decisions. And as you all know, one of the key factors for success is decisions. Imagine if you know yourself, you know your essence. Now, based on that, you're making decisions. How correct those decisions would be, and how happy you would be making those decisions and moving ahead with it.
So, most of the times conflicts happen in life. When you feel that you're progressing and then you again keep taking a step back. That's again because of that inner conflict of something what internally you're not even aware and you're wanting, and something what is coming to you externally. But when you get to know this process and you do it successfully, then those decisions come from a very clear state, and that matches with your core.
Yeah.
Then the third beautiful thing that happens, you're able to tackle self-doubt and gain confidence in yourself. Where does self-doubt comes from? It comes from not being sure. It comes from being confused. It comes from the great thought, what if? What if I do this? What if I fail on this? What if people don't agree to this? What if people judge me on this? This what if all comes because of that self-doubt, which happens because I don't know my own self.
And once you know yourself, what is the most beautiful thing? You can live a life which is fulfilled. Okay, it's a very fulfilling. Like today, we are living a very fulfilling life, and which is also aligning with our own values, because most of the reason of unhappiness is people compromise on their values, and that is where it becomes a challenge. Like, for example, one of my clients, I was coaching him, his highest value is absolutely being truthful, and the job that is involved many a times forces him to be a person where he has to lie or he has to hide things. And that is the reason why he's got anxiety, because his topmost value is being truthful and he's not able to be at his job. And that was the reason of illness that was occurring. Doctor was not understanding. But during sessions, we realized. So same way, when you are aware of yourself, you can do something which gives you the fulfillment. At the same time, it's aligned with your values.
Then, of course, it helps you nurture enriching relationships.
Absolutely.
Because, when you can empathize with yourself, you can also empathize with others. When I'm living my life to my fullest, I'm thoroughly happy. That's how I can contribute to his life. That's how I can contribute to my team who's working with me. That's how I can really provide value to the people who are working with me. So if you want to enrich your relationships, you need to know yourself first.
Once you know yourself, it asserts your boundaries gracefully.
Being able to say no, right?
Yes.
That is what is defining your boundaries. And believe me, that's one of the most toughest thing to do, to be able to say a no. Why is it so? Because again, like I said, it's conflict, right?
Yeah.
I want to please this person and I don't know what am I truly wanting. So I go with him. And that is where, when I finish that activity and come back, I'm feeling miserable.
Like many a times it will be happening that to your client or to your boss or to your family members, you're saying a yes because you are forced to do it, or you can't say a no. But the fact is, like after saying yes, you feel like shit because you are doing something that you don't want to do. You never wanted to do. I'm sure many of you would have gone through that. That is why it's important that you know yourself so that you are able to very confidently say a no.
Then you're able to confront your self-limiting beliefs and fears.
Yes.
Many a times, or rather the biggest reason for you to not succeed at the pace that you're wanting,
yes,
is because of your self-imposed limitations or beliefs on yourself.
Very true.
And if you don't know them, you'll never be able to confront them. And if you cannot confront them and overcome them, you'll never be able to grow, because they are invisible forces that are coming in your path to stop you from progressing.
Absolutely. And knowing yourself, especially all the people who are working, that navigates your career path with precision. You know exactly what you want because you know yourself now. You know that this is who you are and this is the best that you will be delivering in this area, in this path, because all what you have is going to be great in this path. And that's why it can navigate your career path with precision.
So let me read through these points one again if you've missed them. Self-awareness helps you in setting crystal clear life goals.
It helps you make decisions that resonate with your essence.
It helps you tackle self-doubt and embrace confidence.
It also helps you to live a fulfilled life aligned with your values.
It helps you nurture enriching relationships through empathy.
It asserts your boundaries gracefully.
It helps you confront self-limiting beliefs and fears.
And it helps you navigate your career path with precision.
So if all these things can happen by that one process of indulging within your own self,
yeah,
don't you think it's worth taking that effort? Now, let me try and tell you. There is always a question on whether your decision-making can really become better through self-knowledge. Can self-knowledge truly guide your decision-making? It is most certain that this happens. When you genuinely understand yourself, your decisions are guided by your values and your desires.
Yes.
Something that you value the most and something that you desire the most. Your compass is your inner authenticity, and that helps you direct your life choices. Now imagine if your life is based on this beautiful compass, which is directed towards being authentic to yourself. It is driven by your values and your desires. Then is there any doubt that you will reach to your destination safely, fast, and sure shot?
Absolutely. So now you've understood. Now let's try to answer the most important question which you would be having. How can we embark on this journey of self-discovery? It's very simple. We can embark on this quest by asking these few questions. Please write down. The first question that you need to ask yourself: what values shape your core?
What are the most important values of your life which you cannot compromise on? Please write this question so you can answer them later. We'll keep reiterating so that you don't miss on them, because this is what is going to help you walk on the path of self-discovery.
Okay. Next, what fuels your passion? Because we all have passion and God created all the same. But basically quite a few people, they don't have the right fuel to flare their passion. Once you have that fuel, your passion will be on the peak. And that's very important to have a great life.
So how do you understand what's your passion? Passion is something that when you do it, time disappears.
Absolutely.
Passion is something, when you do more of it, you get more energized.
Yes.
It's 9 o'clock in the night. It's Friday. We have started a day from 5:30 in the morning. But this is how we are even at this point of time. Why? Because it's something which we are truly passionate about.
Passionate makes you feel young and dynamic all the time. Age doesn't matter after that. That as I'm aging more, I'm feeling more younger. Number is only increasing. But as such, I'm feeling so younger because, I'm passionate about, and I do that every single day.
Then what strengths do you have? In all these years that you've known yourself, what are your strengths? And you can also reach out to your buddy. This answer can also come from your buddy.
Yes.
That buddy could be your intimate life partner. It could be
a friend of yours.
It could be a peer. It could be a senior who's been guiding you. It can be a mentor.
Absolutely.
But reach out to them to find out what are your strengths and what are your vulnerabilities. Where do you feel weak? Where do you feel less confident? Where do you feel that if this comes into my life, I'll not be able to move ahead? What are these weaknesses? If you can define them,
yes,
then you can always reach out for support and encouragement.
Then how do your personality and emotions play out? How they go hand in hand? That is what you need to see. Your personality and your emotions that play out.
So for example, Dheeraj just shared earlier, right? That if you're a sales, you're into a if you're into a profession of sales and you're an introvert person, imagine when you're stepping out on the field, there's so much of fear, anxiety, you will feel overwhelmed.
Yep.
And when that person doesn't behave the way you're expecting, then there is frustration and anger.
True.
So by default, an introvert person will have anxiety, overwhelm, stress, frustration every single day when he is fulfilling his role at his work life. That is why knowing your personality and reflecting what are the emotions that are coming up, because that's not tallying with your career.
At the same time, what fuels your ambitions and purpose? In short, what drives?
Absolutely.
What is the driving factor which can help you fulfill your ambitions and, most important, the purpose of your life? That's what you need to find out.
So for me, I'm really ambitious to reach out to millions and millions of people across the globe.
Yes.
That's the ambition that drives me. And the purpose of my life is to help as many people as possible, to help them tap their innate potential so that they can live a happy and fulfilled life.
Very true.
I'm a person who's really been a dreamy person. So Alice in Wonderland, right? That is what I was as a child. As I grew up, I started realizing the values of dreams and fulfilling them. And today, that's exactly the profession that I am in. So that defines my purpose of life. And my ambition is not just my city, my country, but the entire world. And thankfully so, through this platform called as LinkedIn, we have clients from all parts of the world.
Yes.
So my ambition is really fueling my growth, and it's helping me live a purpose which is true to my own core of life.
Next question is, how do your experiences that you have till now and your expertise shape you? Both of this is very important, because you have an experience and you have something now. By now, you would have had some, because if you work in a project or something for 15, 20 years, you anyhow would have been expert. So you need to find out how this both shapes you.
So, experiences or life are something which are the most valuable treasure that you have, because that's unique only to you.
Yes.
Only you have gathered it and lived it. Imagine if you can use those experiences to help someone else in your team, to help someone in the family, to really bring that up to the table when you're working on a common project.
Yes.
How beautifully you will be able to maneuver through this entire thing successfully. But you know what? We rarely reflect on our experiences because we don't have the time. We are so focused on what we have in the current present and our fears that we forget our experiences, and that's why we forget to use them.
And one of the villains that most of the people have, rather everybody have, are what are some of your limiting beliefs. That's one villain that doesn't allow you to go out and achieve, because these limiting beliefs freezes you. you judge completely and you start living with the fact this is how it is, this is what will happen, and this is how it works. So what are some of your limiting beliefs? And finally, and the last, what truly drives you? My dear friend, that's a very, very crucial question. What drives you that you get up in the morning at 5:30 and 12:30 you're sleeping there, but you're still energetic, you're full of life, full of energy, full of force, because once you know what drives you, nobody can stop you.
So remember, this expedition is not just about your career.
Yes.
But it's about crafting a meaningful life. It's not about understanding where you're starting from before you set out for your destination. Isn't it really true? If you don't know where you're standing, how will you be able to define the destination, the distance to your destination?
Yes.
And if you don't know the distance, how will you really plan your travel journey? So that is why let's really redefine these questions. If you missed any one of them, I'll repeat and you can write down. First, what values shape your core?
Second, what fuels your passion?
Third, what strengths and vulnerabilities define you?
Fourth, how do your personality and emotions play out?
Fifth, what fuels your ambition and purpose?
Sixth, how do your experience and expertise shapes you?
Seventh, what are some of your limiting beliefs?
And finally, eighth, what truly drives you?
Now, I would like to know from all of you, this half an hour that we just spend with each other, is this journey truly worth that effort? That life where you'll have clarity, you will live a meaningful life, you'll be so fulfilled and happy. And I'm sure your answer would be yes. Self-awareness is your guiding start. It illuminates the path to personal and professional success. Throughout history, achievers have persevered by acknowledging their strengths and their limitations.
Absolutely.
And this inner understanding fortifies you against all the obstacles that come your way.
Because one thing that's going to come our way is challenges and obstacles. And that is why knowing yourself becomes so extremely important. So in essence, success commences from knowing yourself. Success is not a chance occurrence. It emerges from understanding who you are and harnessing that knowledge to construct your path to victory, to triumph.
Has this session been enlightening? If yes, then please let us know that this session really helped you. And remember, your journey to success begins with self-discovery.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we are not taught this, but that is the truth. Taught to us right from Socrates to Alexander the Great, and here we are. So embrace this process and you will be able to forge a career that is uniquely tailored only for you.
Absolutely.
And that is how you truly ace your
Career.
So to let you know, I'm Nutan, I'm a career and a life coach, and I come here every Friday night to help mid-age professionals to grow in their career, to overcome stagnation. What is that they can do to improve their performance, do some career transitions, overcome career stagnation, anything and everything related to their career. We come here and we share so that it can help you grow in your career. And
yes, I am derail, and I'm a life coach, I'm a career coach, and as a business coach. And both of us together, we create this company called as ND Life Coaching.
So today we have an interesting topic with us, and that is, how do you really boost your productivity with neuroscience techniques?
Yes.
Now we all know that today we are living in an age of high
performance. Oh my God, there's so much of high expectations that people have, both in your work and in your relationship. The demands are too high.
And of course, the new normal, the global work environment has really blurred our sense of time, compelling us to work odd hours against our natural rhythm. So if you look at life, probably 5-7 years back, there was a time normally in the morning, wake up, go to work, come back in the evening, people had time with their families together. That was normal life for everyone.
Very true.
Then life changed with globalization, where some was working in US shift, someone was working in a UK shift, someone was working in India times. And then came COVID and this new normal, which One single person can be working in the APAC shift in the morning and probably US shift in the night. So it's really been so crazy. And that is why, with this constant connection to technology, we have lost all defined boundaries and time limits, which is resulting in absolute increased stress levels.
Absolutely. And at the same time, can we change this? We don't know. Is this in our control? No. But what is in our control is what do we do? So today we are going to help you that how can we thrive amidst these challenges. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is neuroscience technique. These are the technique that offers a roadmap to enhance productivity as well as your well-being. This is something that we've been doing for many years. We've used these techniques for almost 15, 16 years, and we have helped others a decade, which has brought result to all of them.
So, we all know that in spite of all these challenges that we just mentioned,
yes,
no time limits, no boundaries, stresses, demands, still there is an expectation of peak performance.
Yes.
No one is going to say you that I'm okay if you're working at an efficiency level of probably 50, 60, 70, 80%. No, they want your 200%.
Yes.
And that is what we've really been working towards. So let me tell you, be very honest, both of us lack a professional degree, but our learnings come from various sources and practical implications, which we used when we got into a absolutely new profession. 10 years back, when we decided to become a life coach, it was a difficult journey.
Yeah.
The field which we never knew about. So there was a lot of studying involved, focused approach,
absolutely,
reaching out to our clients. When you're sitting with our clients, it should be absolutely a focused way, sessions of 90 minutes without blinking an eye. All this was very new to us. Plus, because we were learning and we were coaching, we were also learning, having some certifications from the US, which means we were working in the day and we were studying in the night for those live sessions.
Absolutely. In fact, I remember one of the certification program was for 6 months, where by and large 3 days a week, we were sleeping at morning 4 o'clock because of the US timing. So all this put together is whatever that we have learned and taught people for 10 years is the insights that we are going to give all of you.
Today I would in fact like to share one of these beautiful things. One of my clients, when he introduces me to anyone he knows, he tells a very beautiful line. He says, she rewired me for success and happiness. So rewiring is what we're going to share today.
Yes.
Truly, truly excited to share these transformative steps with you, which have really helped us to optimize our productivity, to really increase our performance level and never fall short of
and
energy.
Also all our clients today, they are in the same scenario that you would be there, but they are performing the peak and they are giving the best. So let's start first thing. Okay.
So first, exercise for brain's health.
Absolutely.
So when we're talking about neuroscience, of course, we are talking about the nervous system, which is connected to the brain. And how can we really help our brain to perform better for us. So the first thing is doing exercise, because the brain's health improves. How does it improve? Regular exercise, when we do that for 40 to 60 minutes, it increases the blood flow to the brain.
Yes.
And when that happens, it improves the cognitive function of the brain.
Very true.
So a daily 40 to 60 minutes, even if it's a walk, it'll enhance your mental clarity and overall efficiency. So something which we have continued over these 10 years.
Yes.
We've not missed a single working day. Unless we are really majorly ill, we have got up and we've done our exercise.
By that 340 days, probably in a year, is what we walk. And we do our exercise, walk and yoga both, for 60 to 70 minutes. That's been more than a decade.
Absolutely. And that has really helped us to remain focused, gather all that energy. Believe me, the energy levels are so high. Like you can see us today, you see us every time in our live sessions at 9 p.m. And our day starts in the morning at somewhere around 5:30, 5:45.
Yes.
And we work till around 11. And then we go and relax. And by the time we go to bed, it's around 12.
Absolutely correct.
But we still are able to enjoy our life, have so much of fun while we are fulfilling our mission. And it really, really is helping.
So the first is exercise for brain health. Second, quality sleep matters. Now, this is very crucial. You need to prioritize and focus on quality sleep. For that, the first thing, your biggest enemy, your biggest villain is very close to you, and that's your gadgets. You need to disconnect yourself from these gadgets at least an hour before your bedtime, so that you are able to have an optimal sleep, which contributes to increasing in your productivity. So keep away yourself from any gadgets 1 hour prior to your bedtime.
So really check, because most of them, when they come to me, they tell me this: I was so exhausted the entire day that, me and my husband, when we got back to the bed, we're actually scrolling and looking at certain videos. Really remember, that's destroying your sleep time and probably destroying the quality of your sleep.
That's more important.
Yes. Then the third thing, which is really very important to do, hydrated. Keep yourself well hydrated.
Yes.
Well, now you will ask me, how does drinking water have any connection with the brain? So let me tell you, when you stay hydrated with regular water intake, this water helps the brain cells to communicate with each other.
Yes.
So imagine you're maneuvering through traffic, or you're driving on a freeway. What is going to be the speed? Of course, the speed is much higher on a free zone.
Yes.
That is what happens to these brain cells. They can communicate very easily if those chunks are cleared, the toxins are cleared, and water carries some essential nutrients that helps the brain to function much more and in an optimum condition. So drinking water, which we've been hearing for a very long time, unfortunately, because it's known to everyone, we don't take it seriously. But both of us drink around 4 to 5 liters of water every single day.
We ensure minimum at least 3 to 4 liters. That's the bare minimum.
And that's always there next to us.
Yes.
So there's a bottle filled water and there's a glass, and we ensure that in every 60 to 75 minutes, we'll drink 1 glass of water. So regular, consistent supply of water to your body will increase functioning of your brain.
Absolutely. And the next is movement and oxygenation, which means physical movement after every 90 minutes. You need to get up, move. That provides more oxygen to the brain, because when you are sitting at one place, you actually breathe very shallow. But when you move your body, I'm saying only 5 minutes, go out, or minimum 3 minutes, go have a fast walk and come, or move your body and do something. If not something, basraka. That's it. If you can do this for 3 minutes or 5 minutes, you will see that your brain is getting enough oxygen. That will again help your efficiency to be in a maximum highlight state, and the cognitive abilities are extremely high.
So for example, if you're sitting in your work desk, instead of texting to your peer or your boss, just get up and take a walk and physically talk to them.
Yes.
That will increase your emotional quotient also, and it will help your brain getting that oxygen which it is really looking for. Because when you're focusing and you're sitting in front of the laptop, the only thing that you forget is really breathing.
Like all the guys who have a habit, guys, girls, whatever, habit of smoking. It's not smoking. It's actually your brain is calling for an oxygen. Now what is happening? The entire nicotine is going in your lungs, but all the oxygen goes in your brain, and you feel that cigarette is giving relief. It's not cigarette, it's oxygen. So if you can just walk, you can move, that oxygen will go in your brain, and you can even no need of having the support of cigarettes.
Then one very important thing, we're all asked to innovate, right? We're all asked to give some out-of-the-box solutions to the problems that we are experiencing in the work life. We are asked to be creative. How do you get into that mode? That can only happen when your brain is tapping that creative part.
Yes.
Now, believe me, in that kind of overproductiveness, when we are working constantly, right from the morning, demands from your family, then demands at workplace, there is no time to really sit and relax and let your mind be comfortable.
Yes.
And if I'm not giving that space to that brain, it is so taxed with all the demands coming constantly. How will the brain get clarity?
Very true.
So it's very, very important to dedicate some time for meditation. What does this do? It stimulates creativity and mental clarity.
Absolutely.
And we all know that a calm mind is a productive mind. So both of us ensure that when we finish our exercise, when we've come back home, we take 20 minutes where we are really priming ourselves. Our mind is completely shut off from the whole world, and we are focusing on what we want to accomplish today. What is that we would like to achieve in this today's uh, entire process?
Absolutely.
Or at times there is just nothing. It's about just breathing peacefully and letting the mind take charge. And that's where all the creativity comes from.
Now, the next is nature's impact. Okay. So, what do you need to do? You need to surround yourself with greenery or bring nature indoors, like plants which help you to give more oxygen. Now, this is very crucial because exposure to nature improves your mood. That's very important. It reduces the stress and enhances your focus. So in our house, that's what we have done. In every room, you will find greenery. We have got plants which gives oxygen, that green part. It is at a very subconscious level. You don't even know. It plays a massive impact. If you surround yourself with this, you will see massive results in your creativity and in your performance.
So, we all would have experienced this, that you just go into a park which is absolutely green. You walk into that park for 10-15 minutes, and all of a sudden your mood lifts up, right?
Yeah.
You feel so peace and calm. That's because that's the impact nature has on us. We are designed actually to live in the nature. Unfortunately, we have created the cement jungle for us.
Yep.
And there is no option out of that, right? So either create your workspace near a window, which you can see greenery.
Yeah.
If that's not possible, then like us, have some greenery around you. There's so many indoor plants. Even in your workspace, you can get those small little things which
Yeah.
are those green plants. And by default, because it's lying on your desk, your eyes will go there and it will help you
Very
focus
true.
even more.
The next is you need to embrace positive emotion. Dear friend, this is so crucial to be in a positive emotional state.
Absolutely.
Rather than being in a negative state. So, which means you need to cultivate this positivity to increase productivity. Why you need to take efforts is because we live in a world where there is only negativity around us. News, channels, papers, people. There's so much of negativity due to which our brain is scared, insecure, and anxious. So we need to ensure that we are getting positivity, like affirmations. Like every day morning, we do certain affirmations. Then it's almost 20-25 minutes every day when we go on a walk. We do that. Also, it's a mandate for us that we listen to music that uplifts your mood, and it helps you to enable that you are able to perform at your best.
So you would say, where do I have the time to listen to music? Well, you don't need an extra time to listen to music. I especially use my bath time. Fortunately, today we have so many such tools. Even your small little mobile can give you that music.
Very true.
Which you can listen while you're doing something else.
Absolutely.
And it just creates a beautiful mood to work and perform at your best.
Very true.
Then one very beautiful thing that you need to do, all successful people do this, that is visualize your goals.
Yes.
Which starts from actually having clear, specific goals. Once you've written them down, every single day, you need to visualize your goals so that you stay focused and motivated.
Very true.
Because that's one thing, if you know, unfortunately, over the years, our attention span as humans is really reducing drastically. And if you want to perform at your peak, you have to be focused. Focus when there are meetings going on. Focus when you're taking some decisions. Focus when you're writing an email. Focus when you're presenting. How do you channelize and keep your brain focused? That happens through visualization. Otherwise, you get distracted completely. Now, when you do this daily, this practice enhances the awareness of opportunities that support your objective.
Very true.
I would like to tell here one beautiful thing. It's called as RAS, which is Reticular Activating System. For example, if you want to buy a new brand BMW, which has just come into the market, the moment you decide, all of a sudden you start noticing the vehicle on the streets.
Yeah, it's happened with me.
What does it do? It's actually started noticing something which you are wanting or desiring. That's exactly what happens when you're focusing on your goals. You suddenly start seeing opportunities around your work life, in the environment that you exist, and you'll be able to accomplish your goals much faster.
The next is you need to create the right environment, which means set up an inspiring workspace that nurtures your creativity. have some small soft music, and clutter a free zone. Don't flood yourself with so many things that you don't feel. You need to clutter, throw out stuff which is not required. A free zone can foster an optimal work atmosphere. That's very important, because that's the place you're going to sit for 10, 12 hours. So having the right environment, that's why we've created this beautiful office here. And same thing is for me in my room. So we have created an environment. The moment we go in that place, the moment we sit on the chair, we know that this is the place that we have come here to work, and that environment sets us up. So that's very important.
And of course, whenever I'm sitting here to write, I just put on some soft music.
True.
That keeps my thoughts flowing so smoothly, and I can finish my work in a short span. Writing is again creativity, right?
Yep.
Same way, whatever you want to do which involves creativeness, create a workspace that nurtures this creativity.
Yes.
Then, of course, very, very important, balanced nutrition.
Yes.
So we all know that when we eat something which is good to your tongue, it's naturally very heavy. And these heavy meals can lead to lethargy.
Absolutely right.
So if it's your working day, avoid taking heavy meals. Choose light, nourishing meals that can keep your energy levels steady throughout the day. Choose your weekends to let your tongue take all the decisions.
I would say only one meal, okay? Don't make it too much. I have only one meal which I eat whatever I want.
Absolutely.
So that's a balanced nutrition. After that, lifelong learning. It is so important. Like, I had the fortune to meet a lot of successful people, and one thing common in all of them, at whatever age, maybe from 40 to 70 or 80, they constantly engage themselves in continuous learning, and they challenge themselves regularly. So that's what you need to do. Engage in continuous learning and challenge yourself regularly. Learning new skills keeps your brain agile and adaptive.
That's very, very crucial, because you know what? As we grow as individuals, we stop challenging ourselves.
Absolutely.
And because we stop challenging, we are not really using our brain actively. So either you're learning something which is relevant to your career, or you're reading something out of your scope, doesn't really matter. Challenge can also mean probably if I use this hand regularly, I use my wrong hand. That challenges my brain and starts creating some more new pathways.
Yes.
Otherwise, this is the route that I drive to my office. I can change the route whenever I have time and space. Change the route so it uses or it ticks my brain to start looking out for things actively. If you want your brain agile and not get into the mode of redundancy, stop losing memory, then you need to keep challenging your brain every single day. So either you're learning or you're challenging probably learning a new sport, learning something new.
Absolutely.
Something which will make your brain tick.
The next is, you need to, if all those people who are work from home and who are working these long hours, schedule power naps. So it's like not necessarily hours. 15 to 30 minutes is enough for you to again come back and revitalize your cognitive abilities. Like we do every day, half an hour, we take a power nap. That's very important. So you need to schedule power nap.
In fact, in certain countries, in the work environment, they have this space.
Very true.
So that they can take that small little nap, which enables them to work long hours. So especially in countries where people are expected to work long hours, they are given this half an hour short nap where they revitalize, and then they work even more efficiently, but they're working for long hours. So if you want to trigger that, because we all know that today 6 hours, 8 hours is not enough. So if you get a scope of taking a power nap, definitely do that. Then, of course, the most important thing is time management. Now, time management is not because I have a to-do list.
Yep.
But what I'm trying to convey here is set a cutoff time to disconnect from work, allowing your brain to relax and recharge for the next day.
Yes.
Many people have this habit of, again, the new normal. My email, my office email is put up on my mobile. And before going to sleep, I just to see what's happening, I would look through the email. The minute I do that, my brain again gets into an active mode and I will not be able to sleep properly.
Absolutely right.
So there has to be a ritual for the brain to relax and recharge for the next day. Like for us both, it is 1 hour language. So we say, yes, we are done for the day. Now, come on. Time over. till tomorrow morning. And we cut off from here, we go out and take a nice half an hour walk. We come back, we watch something which we relax, and we go to sleep.
Absolutely.
So the brain knows now it's not in active mode, it can relax.
The next is consistent routine. Follow a consistent daily routine, Monday to Saturday, to optimize brain performance. Routine brings discipline, stability, and heightened efficiency. So you cannot miss this. This is a must. Whatever you do, you need to do something every single day. So have a very disciplined and routine life.
Especially at least for those 5 working days.
Yes.
So the brain knows that I get up at this time, this is what I do, this is how I continue.
Very true.
And this is where I end. Believe me that self-discipline increases your performance. It helps the brain to know that this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
So it quickly adapts to everything. And then one very, very important thing which I have learned, embrace saying a no.
Yeah.
No to certain things so that you can accomplish what you want out of life. Prioritize tasks that truly matter by saying no to non-essential obligations. So I remember cooking is something I really love and I would love to do it. But as I became a coach and there was so much on my plate, writing is important since we are moving out on the social media, recordings are important, so we have time for that, learning is important,
Absolutely.
Sessions are important. I had to choose whether I want to focus on my client's life or whether I want to focus on cooking. There are so many such tasks both of us have chosen to give up on because we wanted to focus on what we love to do and fulfill our mission. So learn to say a no and do it without feeling guilty.
The last one is limited focus goals, which means you need to concentrate on a manageable number of goals to be done in the entire day. You can't have a list of 20, 30 stuff. It's not possible. Rather than running behind what is urgent, focus on what is important. And I can tell you, there cannot be more than 3 to 7 things which are important to be done in the entire day. This enhances your effectiveness. Rather than running behind 20 things and doing all with 25% of productivity, do 3 to 7 important things and give your 200% so that you get that kind of results.
So research has shown that you can only remain focused when you're thinking about 3 to 7 tasks.
Yes.
And these 3 to 7 tasks depends on individuals. Some are comfortable only with 3, some can stretch up to 7.
Yep.
You need to look at what's the number which is comfortable to you. You can multitask only so much. So just pick that up. Once that is done, then look into something else. Otherwise, you will just be scattered and your energy is scattered all over and you'll not be really effective. So in the end, there is something which I would like to ask from you. We've shared 16 things that you can do towards increasing your productivity. We'll just go through this quickly, one by one, and I want you to choose at least 2 things
that you
can start doing from today, which will help you improve your performance.
Yep.
So the first one is physical exercise of 40 to 60 minutes for improving your brain's health.
Quality sleep, that's number 2.
Third, hydration. Keep yourself well hydrated so that your brain functions optimally.
4, keep moving after every 90 minutes so there is enough oxygen that's going to your brain.
5th, meditation so that you can channelize and use your creativity.
6, try to be in nature as much as possible so you get the nature's impact too.
Embrace positive emotions. Learn how to cultivate these positive emotions.
8, visualization for focus, because wherever you focus, that's where energy goes.
9th, create the right working environment for you.
10, balance nutrition. Eat the right kind of food at least 6 days a week.
Lifelong learning and challenging yourself so that your brain remains active.
12, schedule power naps. So after every, maybe few 5-6 hours, take a nap of 15 to 20 minutes and then start again.
Really have a cutoff time so that the brain knows the day is over. Now it's all about next.
Next, consistent routine. Do something every single day and follow a discipline, stability so that you get a great efficiency.
Embrace saying no to something which is not really very important.
And finally, have limited goals, 3 to 7, so that you are given the best.
So in a world which is brimming with demands, it's imperative to leverage neuroscience techniques to elevate productivity and well-being. There's no other option.
Absolutely right.
By consciously adapting these practices in your daily routine, you're empowering yourself to thrive amidst the challenges of the modern work environment, the new normal.
So let's harness the power of our brain to achieve remarkable results and lead a balanced and fulfilled life.
So, guys, that's it from us. Today, we would like to close on this, and we would love to hear from you. What is that you're going to use to increase your performance every day? So, guys, we are going to discuss yet another topic on leadership.
Absolutely. We started this last time and we decided that it's such a massive topic, it's very difficult to communicate and give all that in 30 minutes. So we have decided that for a few episodes, we will be giving you some of the other things which are needed about being a great leader. And today, it's all about the 5 traits that you need to become a great leader.
So, why we are doing this? Why this topic on Ace Your Career?
And who are we?
So let's introduce ourselves.
For all the people, I know many of you know us, but all those who don't know us, okay?
So I'm Newton, and I'm a career and a life coach.
I'm Veeran. I'm a career love coach, life coach, business coach, and a spiritual coach. And both of us together, we are ND Life Coaching.
So guys, why we are doing this topic is, I've really been very fortunate that there are so many people who are responding to my posts. My LinkedIn community has been growing every single day. We have 6,000 some plus followers. People are reading the content. They are polling their votes whenever I'm posting some. And it's based on those topics that you choose. I share this session out of owning a debt of gratitude to all of you who've been responding to this.
Absolutely. So good evening, Sandeep, and good evening, Vikram. Thank you very much for joining us live and also saying us a hi. Thank you. Good evening.
So, it really feels amazing when I get to know from people when they connect to me saying that they've been following my posts, they've been listening to our live sessions, and this is what they implemented and how it changed their career.
Yeah.
So that gives us even more drive and motivation to keep doing this.
Absolutely.
So today, like Dheera just mentioned, this is the second episode, if we may call it, on leadership.
Absolutely.
So last time we discussed what is being a good leader.
Yes.
How can you become a great leader? Is it an inborn thing or can you develop yourself?
Yep.
And next, today we thought it's a great thing to understand what are the traits
of a great leader. Absolutely right. And all these traits that we're going to share with you people are not just what we have learned, but we have followed, read, heard to a lot of successful corporate leaders who have given their traits, and we have taken the mix of all of that, okay, because many of them are common, and whatever the best 5 that we thought as common that people are, we took that so that we can share with you. This 5 that we are giving to you has been after reading, listening hours to these people, and that's why we are giving it to you so that you don't have to go it, but you need to apply these traits. Yeah.
So even when I was in my portfolio management business, people generally read the balance sheet, they go into the green and red and yellow zones, and they try and see which is the right investment.
Yeah.
But there's something which I believed, and today it's proven true. People talk about that I always believe that it is at the helm. Who is the leader of the organization will decide what's going to happen to that organization.
Absolutely. Right.
Figures may go here and there. But if the guy sitting at the top is the right guy with the right intent, he's a great leader, he'll pull out a company even from the absolute dirt.
Absolutely.
But if the leader is not great, the balance sheet shows it's a great thing, it's a cash-rich company, you will just see it going down the drain.
Absolutely. It's like, our mentor Tony Robbins always says that the chokehold of any company, any organization, any business is the leaders.
So my 8 years of portfolio business, when I focus on the leader of the company and I invested money of my clients, I've seen the results are wonderful. So more than studying the balance sheet, I studied the leader.
Absolutely.
And from that day till today, it's always been a constant obsession on me.
Yes.
On when things are growing, who's the leader and what did he do to make it happen?
Absolutely.
Right? So if you want to ace your career, if you believe you have to go above from where you are, like I said, we specialize especially in the mid segment or the mid age where people with 12 to 15 years of experience come in.
Yes.
So for them, the only way to grow in the ladder is becoming a great leader. And that is why it's important to understand what are the traits. So like Dheeraj said, I would again like to reiterate. So one, when I kept studying this organizations and seeing that the leaders are making a difference, what is that in the leader that has made that difference?
Yes.
Then last 2 years, if you look at COVID, it was only leaders who were resilient, leaders who were great, who could lead the organization, could even see these worst patches, make the right decisions.
Absolutely.
And bring the organization to where they are.
Absolutely. Even during the meltdown 2008, we saw that leaders, organization, corporates who had great leaders, they could sustain and thrive. But others actually went for a drain because those leaders did not have the right mindset. They did not have the right emotional state. They did not take the right decision. And that is why the company went for a complete toss. So leadership, as we've seen time and again, plays a very crucial role in the growth of any organization. And if you want to be successful, you need to have these traits because that's going to make you a leader.
So to begin with, what is a trait? We've been just using this word, right?
Yeah.
So from various definitions that I've come across in different dictionaries, trait is a distinguishable quality, something unique about that person. A quality which people believe they are born with.
Yep.
But I believe those qualities can be developed. So these traits in a leader, that is something which distinguishes them from others. That trait, you don't have to necessarily get it in your genes. You can develop it if you are interested.
Absolutely.
But before going into the leadership traits, I would like to reiterate what we said in the last session. Leader is all about others.
Yes.
Leader is about leading people. Leader is about taking the people from one place to the other place.
Yes.
So how do you lead people is only when you're interested in people.
Yes.
Right? That is where it begins. So let's not forget the foundation and then build it from here.
Yep.
So everyone who spoke about leadership, and I checked on the qualities on amazing leaders who have run great organizations.
Absolutely.
People, if we mention the names in the corporate world, Ratan Tata, Indira Nooyi, in Indian context, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Jack Welch, Sundar Pichai, who is leading such an amazing organization. So looking at all these traits, I came up with the top 5.
Yes.
And what are these top 5? The first common thing that I found in all of them, what they were saying was, a leader is a visionary.
Absolutely.
A leader is a visionary. He has a future vision.
Yes.
He can see something which is not seen today. In the future, that's how he becomes a leader.
Absolutely.
Now, it's important to not only know the trait, but know how to develop it, right? Otherwise, it's of no use. It's theory. So, how do you become a visionary? You have to be a person who's futuristic.
Yes.
Now, most of us live our daily life by just putting our head down and going through the day, making it through the day. Such people cannot be a great leader. You have to be futuristic. Now, if you're not looking at your own future in terms of your career, how will you be able to do it tomorrow with your organization and do it for your people?
Absolutely right.
So from now on, inculcate that habit. Have a plan, have a goal, at least for 1 year. Where do you see yourself 1 year from now?
Absolutely.
Where do you see this company where you're working 1 year from now? Because if you're not aware, you're in the wrong place, right? So you may be thriving in what you're doing, but the company is not thriving. You're not going to get the money. You're not going to get the growth. So 1 year from now, 5 years from now, once you get used to this, you become a visionary by default.
Absolutely.
Second, it's about knowing what's happening around the world. Guys, there's so much happening. It's so difficult to pick up.
Absolutely.
So your industry, your area of interest, something which is relevant to you, you need to keep yourself updated.
Absolutely. As of now, when we are speaking, somewhere in the US or somewhere any part of the world, there's some new research and development will be going on now. That speed and that fast is what technology is changing, and new innovations are happening. And that's why it's so important, each one of you, to be updated in what's going out there.
Absolutely. Because all of a sudden, the skills that you have become redundant.
Yes.
And you don't have a job left.
True.
So if you don't know what's happening around you, at least in your industry and your field, you're outdated.
Absolutely.
So for being a visionary, first, you start looking towards your future, your organization's future, know where the industry is heading, what's happening around in the world, what's going to
Absolutely.
come up in your field in the next 5 years. That's how you can envision your life, and that's how you can become a visionary.
And all those who are already leaders, they have 2 people, 5 people, 10 people, whatever number of people. These people, I would tell them an exercise to do now is that they can write down a vision for that team. Vision for 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year for their team. Please do that, because without a vision, you can't start becoming a leader itself.
Right. So first thing is being a visionary. Once you start seeing the future,
yes,
future which is not available today, right? You're seeing it ahead of times.
Absolutely.
Then it's equally important to communicate that. So the quality to communicate your vision to your people is equally important
Absolutely.
as seeing that vision for a leader.
Yes.
So every day working on your communication skill is absolutely important for you if you want to be a great leader.
Because if you have seen a vision, you alone cannot achieve it.
Absolutely
you need the team with you, you need people with you. And that is why it's so important that you are able to communicate your vision in a way to people that becomes their vision, and all of you together are able to achieve that vision. And that's why communication skill, as she said, seeing the future, studying the future, analyzing, anticipating. Similarly, it's very important that you have one of the biggest skill, that is communication skill.
So like Gandhi had a vision of freedom through non-violence, and he could communicate that through people. Imagine today we have this, we are reaching out to the whole world.
Yeah.
He didn't have all that facilities, but he still could communicate his vision so clearly and specifically that it went from one person to the other, and the entire nation became one with him, with just newspapers. And not everyone was educated and reading it, right?
Absolutely.
But it was mouth to mouth that it went, and the whole nation became together with him.
So not only he saw a vision of a freedom based on non-violence, but he also communicated that vision to the entire country, that all of them stood together with him and they could achieve that freedom. Now that's the power of vision and communication.
There's some very beautiful thing that we had heard during our portfolio management. We were also doing business with ICICI, and we had Shikha Sharma in one of the meetings that we had gone. We were awarded in Australia, so we had traveled there. She also was there, since she was heading the company that time. And when we asked her, what's the most important thing that you do in your role in the current company as a MD? She said, my role is, if I can communicate my vision to the lowest guy working there, that if an office boy believes in the vision that I have, then my job is done.
Absolutely. So which means from the, let's say, the senior most person in the organization till the peon, if all of them, I'm able to communicate the vision and I'm able to get them to work on that vision, then is what my job is done. That makes her a leader.
Right. So the first, vision, and being able to communicate that vision. Now, how can you communicate that vision? For that, you need a second quality.
Yes.
And that second quality is empathy. I need to first know my people to be able to communicate correctly. People feel that if you have a great orator skill, if you can speak well, if you have a great voice, energy, it reaches out to people. No, dear friends. If I don't understand my people, if I don't know their pain, I don't know what they are going through.
Absolutely.
I don't know what excites them, what pulls them down, what's happening in their life. I will never be able to be a great leader.
Very true.
Only based on empathy, I can reach out to them, and that's how I can communicate my vision to them.
So which means, in short, if I'm not able to empathize with my people, I'm not saying sympathize, it's empathy. Okay, so which means you understand, okay, what is this person going through and what situation this person is. Now, understanding that and then trying to communicate to that person, connect to that person, being in his shoes or her shoes is what is important for the leader. You cannot be in your shoes and try to tell him to go in your shoes. It's opposite. You need to go in his shoes and her shoes and then try to communicate what you want to say. And for that, this quality of empathy is very, very important. The greatest of the leaders are people who are empathize. They believe in empathy more than they believe in sympathy, and that's why empathy is very, very important.
So, I was having a session with one of my clients. He works in our organization, which is a people-centric organization, and they love to take care of their people. So we were just discussing a scenario where he was telling about how now it's difficult for people, but first it was all work from home, right? And now you have to return back to the workplace. We all know that in various parts of the country, metro work is going on. So travel has become even more difficult.
Absolutely.
Plus, thanks to God, rains have been really pouring.
At least in cities like Pune, Mumbai,
Bangalore,
it's been pretty good. It's been pretty strong.
So, it becomes very difficult for a person to travel. So the company first decided, let's give 3 days for people to come. Then they asked them to fix those 3 days. And when the 3 days became fixed, now people who were used to sitting home and working, it became difficult for them.
Yeah.
And they started raising their concerns and voices, and they were not happy with the decision. The board really listened to them, and they changed them and gave them the flexibility.
Yes.
That you can choose when you want to come.
Yes.
Now, this small little decision is going to make people believe that the organization is interested in them. And that's how they will want to work towards your vision.
Absolutely right.
So empathy is one very important quality in a leader.
Yes.
And that brings us to the next thing.
The third thing, which is something which I have been living all my life, and that is all about confidence and courage.
So confidence, because if I don't believe in what I am saying,
absolutely,
how will I be able to convey that to my people?
Absolutely. If I don't believe that I can deliver, I can do it. Like today I was just coaching a lady, and she was talking about I'm going to be a consultant, and I'm going to help people to sell, and I'm going to teach people how to sell. I said that's great. So I asked her only one question: that today, given situation, can you sell? I said, of course I can sell. I said, wow, that's great. I said, okay, so this is a product. And next 10 minutes, I wanted to prepare a pitch and how I to put this product. And then she said, no, this cannot happen. You need to give me some time. I said, a sales guy is always ready with whatever the product. He can just pitch it because I've done it for so many. I said, okay, now you prepare a pitch. And it just took me 2 minutes to prepare the pitch. And I pitched it to her. I said, I would have bought this if the product was real. I said, that's why I've coached 1,200 people that how to sell, and they're all successful in a buy because years of my experience that I can sell, that confidence, that conviction that I have, that I can go out there and sell. So that's why confidence comes from you actually doing it.
And that's how you become courageous enough to convey the vision to your people. Because you know you can make it happen.
Yes.
So courage, because future is always not predictable, right?
Yes.
There is a certain level of uncertainty. If I don't have the courage to be able to leap with faith to build that vision, to make it real, I cannot make it happen. So guys, the third quality in a leader, or the unique trait in a leader, is confidence and
courage both. Okay.
Confidence in himself, his work, and courage to be able to lead the team on his conviction.
Absolutely. And courage to believe in your own vision of life and able to make people believe in it and stand beside the company and people in every given situation. So the third trait is confidence and courage. Now this brings us to the fourth trait.
And that's the most important thing. What's a leader's role? A leader's role is to inspire and influence.
Absolutely.
Inspire and influence.
Yes.
If I can't, and what to inspire and influence for? For people to take action.
Yes.
So if I can't lead my team to take action towards the vision, then I've failed as a leader.
Absolutely.
Then it's mere fantasy and discussion over meetings and cups of tea and dinner and various places where you gather together and discuss. You brainstorm.
Yes.
But nothing has resulted. End of the day, people enjoy the good food, they enjoy a great location, they go back home and sleep. That's not a leader. A leader is someone who can inspire action.
Absolutely.
Influence people to work on that action even in crisis.
Absolutely.
Like if we see that COVID times, doctors were leading the team, right? They were fighting the illness on their own. That's how people below them, which were nurses and office staff, they started having the courage to treat people who were going through COVID. Dear friends, there's nothing bigger than this where you're risking your life every single day.
Yes.
But we found people doing it. How could they do it? Because their leaders were doing it.
Absolutely, I totally agree. And I believe, in fact, my mentor Tony again says that what actually a leader does, by and large, a leader influences people,
Absolutely correct.
inspires people. But when he can do it, the first person on this earth that he has to inspire and influence, and that is he himself.
Absolutely
So
right.
you need to check that, am I inspired myself to achieve that vision? Am I'm able to influence myself to go out and do the most difficult and challenging thing on this earth, so that how I can inspire and influence others.
So if I am not able to take action, if I'm not leading by example,
Yes,
I cannot inspire or influence anyone else.
absolutely.
And that brings me to one very beautiful example. I keep narrating it time and again. That's about Gandhi. So there was a mother who was really concerned about her child, a child who was eating a lot of sweets.
Yes.
And sweets were not good for his health. Now the mother was concerned and she believed that if Gandhi would tell the kid would listen to him and he would give up on sweets.
Yes.
Now when that happened, when she brought the kid to Gandhi
So
and
she
said,
traveled 3 days, okay? From where she was to reach to Bapu. She traveled 3 days, she was in the queue, and then the number came. Okay, the number came to meet Bapu.
And Gandhi heard to the entire story of the mother, and he said, you have to give me a few days. I don't remember
And
the
it's
count.
3 months.
But few days for me to be able to convey this to your son. So the mother, of course, couldn't debate with Bapu. So she went back, but she was very sorry, felt hurt. She said, why did he want to ask me to come back again? It's such a big effort. I'm not in the financial state. What would have happened if Gandhi would have just conveyed to the kid then and
Don't
there?
eat sugar, that's it.
And then that time frame got over. She is a mother. She can't leave the child go through an illness. So she carried the child again and she went to Bapu to meet him. Gandhi spoke with the child alone for a few minutes and the child decided to give up on sweets. So the mother then, of course, you are inquisitive. So you ask. So she asked him, this what you did to my child, why couldn't you do it then? So Gandhi told, if I wouldn't have given up on sweets and understood what it feels to live without sweets, how could I influence this kid to take that decision?
Absolutely.
So only when I go through, I'll be able to tell him that if you go through this, what will happen and how can you overcome?
Very fond of sweets, and then he decided that something that I love so much, can I quit? And that's why 3 months Gandhi himself stopped eating. He actually quit sweets. And that's why when he said it in one line, in one statement, the kid decided, I'm not going to quit. So same way, it is very important that we are first able to do what we are going to tell people.
So he led by example, right?
Yes.
And that is how he could influence this child. That's how he influenced the nation. If you see a person who didn't even wear proper clothes, who was not of such great physical health, such frail person, but he had the courage to fight the Britishers, lead in the state that he was in. He was imprisoned so many times, but he didn't give up, right? And that is why he could influence people. So it's the leader's role to first influence himself, to take action and lead by example. That's how he can influence others. And the last and the most important trait is decision making.
Yes.
Whether in crisis or whether leading a team, whether choosing between profit or people, whether choosing because this strategy would work or the other strategy, whether I should invest in this or invest in something else. Is it going to be a right decision or no?
Absolutely.
All this critical
whether I should fire or no, because at times, like I was just coaching a lady today and she was saying that she knows there are 3 employees in a company, she should be firing. She says, I'm not able to do it. But she also knows that because of these 3 people, there's a lot of losses she's going through. So it is a lot of decision making involved when you are leading a company or when you are working as a leader in your organization.
So, like layoffs is a very big decision to be taken by a leader. Should it be done or no, whether it's right or wrong is not what we are debating here today. That can be discussed some other day. But what I'm saying is these crucial decisions at critical times is what makes decision making important quality in a leader, because that one decision could determine the future of an organization, could determine the future of so many people working in that organization.
Absolutely
So
correct.
if you're not good at decision making, you better start inculcating that habit in yourself right away. Because guys, believe me, though we are saying this, it's not
easy.
An easy habit which people have. All of us, I see my clients, I see people whom I talk to, small little things. They will want a validation from someone else. They'll want an acknowledgement from someone else. They'll go to 10 people for opinion and they will still procrastinate whether I should do it or
no. Absolutely.
So it's time that you take that lesson, that whatever it may be, once you have decided, you'll act. But before acting, you have to decide, right? So make a decision. Don't keep procrastinating and move ahead. You can always rectify your decision.
Absolutely. Because the truth is, whatever decisions that you make, that shapes the destiny of your organization, of your team, and of your life. And that's why it's so important that you are able to take the right decisions. If you just go back and see for a minute and see where you are, is all decided by the decisions that you have made in the past for you to be where you are today. And that's why the fifth one is very, very crucial, is making decisions.
So, things may go right, things may go wrong. Doesn't really matter. We learn from our mistakes. And when things go right, we know we were right in the first place. But if I don't make a decision, I'm anyways not doing any great thing. So decision making in good times and bad times is equally important. When the company is really flourishing, if the leader is not stuck to his ground and foundation, it will not take any time for the company to fall down.
Absolutely right.
And in critical times, if it doesn't take the right decision, and right again I said, which the effects are going to be coming later. Right? But looking at the circumstances, only he knows what he took was the right decision at that point of time.
Very true.
If time comes to rectify it, it's fine. But he still had the courage to take a decision. So guys, 5 qualities that you need to develop if you want to be a great leader. First, be a visionary and learn to communicate that vision.
Second, empathize with people, guys. That's very, very important. Go in their shoes.
So if you're interested in people, only then you'll be able to empathize. Third, confidence and courage. Have conviction in your own life, in your own potential, and in the potential of your team. Believe in them. In fact, I just remember reading somewhere, I think probably it was in LinkedIn only today, and I really had a hearty laugh. So there was this team of teacher and students. The college announced that we are going to take you to a destination. So the entire team gathered. And then finally, the organizer comes and says, we are going to take you to that destination through the plane that you have created. The students have created. So the minute this was known, when they're sitting in the plane and this gets to be known to them that this is the plane that they had created, all the students get out of the plane. They're so scared. It's only the teacher who's sitting there. So the organizer asks him, do you believe in your students so much that you're sitting here? So he says, yes, I believe in my students. I know this plane is not taking off.
So that's the third one. Fourth one is to inspire and influence people. That's very, very crucial. And for that, you need to first inspire yourself and influence yourself so that you can inspire and influence other
people. And finally, decision making, which you can start from taking small little decisions in life. That's how the courage will build, and that's how you start becoming confident about your decisions.
Yes.
Like I said, some may go right, some may go wrong, doesn't really matter.
Because the fact remains, either it may go right or you may learn something.
Absolutely.
So there's nothing to worry that anything goes wrong, because you know what? one of the most biggest lessons come on with the one of the biggest mistakes of life. So there's nothing wrong that happens. You learn something. And that's why you need to take decisions even to learn something. Otherwise, you will never learn anything in life. So, friends, once again, I hope these 5 traits will help you. Now, don't just keep it to yourself. Ensure that all these 5, somewhere or the other in your daily life, from tomorrow itself, you are able to bring it in yourself. You are able to apply in yourself. That's how you become a great leader. And both of us together, we create ND Life Coaching. Today, we are going to talk on a very amazing topic, something that is so applicable to each one of us.
Before that, I would love to welcome people who have joined us live. So
Yes.
welcome Seema, Rahul, Shruta, Kshitija, Varun and Sudarshan. Seema, you've come here for the first time. I'm really excited to have you. Welcome Piyush for the very first time again. Thank you for joining us live. So today, like Dheeraj said, we are going to discuss on another one very important topic, or rather an aspect of life which
Yes.
is crucial if you want to ace your career.
Yes.
And what is that? That's called personal branding.
Branding.
So before diving into this, I love I love receiving answers from you. So there's first question that I want to go here. And I really want to have genuine, real, truthful answers from all of you, because the more truthful we are to ourselves, we become aware, and that's how we change our lives.
Absolutely right.
And like we all know that this year, the theme for ND Life Coaching is to make this the best
year ever.
Yes. So the best year of your life, 2023 has to be the best year of your life.
Absolutely.
And if it has to be the best year of your life, then you have to bring out the best version of yourself. So 2.0 version for yourself in this year 2023. So guys and girls who joined us, have you ever judged somebody by the way they look, they talk, or through their social media posts?
Okay, come on. Okay. I'm going to be too far by saying that we judge people every single day. Though we know it's not a good habit, but we end up doing it. It is so natural for many of us to judge people.
So how many of you listening to us live have judged people in some or the other way? Or probably it's a natural instinct that happens without even realizing. Please put it up in the chat box so I would know that you are responding to what we are discussing, and it'll be great if it is an interactive session.
In fact, have you ever bought something from someone you trust?
So that's the next set of a question.
Have you ever bought something from someone you trust? Have you ever taken services from people you trust? Well, I'm sure the answer is you do this also every day. You go to the doctor, you trust. The vegetable vendor, you trust. So from something which costs just peanuts, or buying a peanut itself, or something which would be costing your own life, that's going to a doctor, we go to a person whom we trust. So how many of you go to people whom you trust? Please write on the chat box.
So whenever you want to buy any services, whenever you want to reach out to something, whenever you want to try something new, even if it is a restaurant, you would generally find out from a person who stays there, or a friend, or a known colleague, peer, how is this
like
place?
In our friend circle, we have 12 friends. There is one person, she keeps going on different, and because the work profile is such. So any one of us, if you want to go to any restaurant, she's our Google, she's our everything. We'll call her and ask her, we want to go to this restaurant. What's your view? What's your opinion? Because she knows what the kind of taste we like, what the kind of food we like. So same way, I want to know. Yeah, Shidya says I do. Great, Shidya, you're being very honest and participate. Thank you so much.
So there's another one thing which is an integral part of our life, and that is movies,
Yes.
right? So most of the times we'll call up someone who's going to be the first one to view the movie, look at his reviews, and then decide whether you should spend that kind of time. Because after COVID, going to a theater to watch a movie is something which we are not really very comfortable how we were before.
Absolutely.
So you want to be sure that
if you're taking the risk to go to the movie theater and exposing yourself in front of so many people, you want to be sure, or rather we all go for the ratings, okay, which is given on FM 104.2, where they give the rating that how to. So I have not gone for some time because no movie is rated 4. And if it is not 4, I don't feel worth it to go there and spend my time. So same way, we do this, right? So, well,
So that's what is personal branding.
yes,
How do people perceive you?
you.
What's your image in their mind? And is it the right image, or would you like to change it? So personal branding is nothing but the image that the other person perceives about you,
Yes,
or you perceive about the other person. That's what is personal branding all about.
absolutely correct.
Thanks, Rahul, Bhushan, Sudarshan, to answer genuinely that this is what you do. We definitely look out for people where we trust, and trust is in terms of very different ways. Like for Rahul, it is about what is that guy offering. If he's offering me something better, it is the person who's really doing a good job for me. So if you feel in today's situation you're not being given good opportunities in your career in spite of you being best in your team, or
If you find that, and if you're finding it difficult to sell your services, if you are an expert in your field but don't have your calendar booked, if you're not being able to scale your business, if people are not giving you reference or not referring you, then there are there high chances that you've not worked on your personal branding.
so if you're not getting the due credit for what you are doing, whether you're a professional, whether you're an employee, whether you're a business owner, an
Absolutely.
entrepreneur, doesn't really matter. Chances are very, very high that your personal branding is not that great. So if you wish to create an image about yourself, which you've not done knowingly, unknowingly, we all do this, right?
Yes.
Like people are judging us, we are also judging them. Same way, this is unknowingly happening. But if you have not really created an image, worked on it before, or you're not happy with the image that you have currently and you want to change that,
or you're not even interested. Many people I know, they're not even interested in building their brands. They feel, "Arey, kya farak padta hai?" They know me, I work, so that's how my brand is. But today's world, it's very, very crucial that we create our own brand. If you have not done till now, this is your moment. This is the right moment to start working on it. So I want everybody to tell yourself now, this moment, people are live and people are going to watch later. You want to tell yourself one thing, you know what? I am going to start branding myself, because even I want to grow, even I want the rewards, recognition, everything. So even I'm going to brand myself.
so I generally begin with the why. Why does this happen? Why is it
Yes.
important, right? So let's really try and understand, why do people judge people? Why? And we all know it's not the right thing to do, right? So it's not that we happily engage in that.
Yes.
But why do we automatically or naturally or instinctively judge people? Why do we go to people whom we trust? Well, this is a process of this so-called human brain,
Yes.
which is designed to protect us. So every time we process an information, the brain is scanning for what could possibly go wrong.
Yes.
And would take all the effort to reduce that danger.
Yes.
That's the reason why we don't jump in the valley, even if it's a beautiful valley with lush green or colorful flowers, you don't dive in, right? Or we just don't go walk into fire.
We don't dive into the ocean without knowing swimming. Even drive carefully, though we have driven for so many years. Watch out for cars around us so that before we speed up.
So whenever you're on the highway and you're wanting to pace your speed, you generally will look at people around.
In fact, now express, we are sure we are not crossing that 80-100 because there are cameras which are catching you and paying you high amount of fines.
Absolutely right. And generally people who are using Uber, Ola, these kind of services, I myself do this. So whenever we sit into the Uber, the first thing that I go and do is I generally scan the Uber driver.
Yeah, the review.
Probably I talk to him. I will understand what is his mindset. I will see how he's driving. And then you would get on to your answering the calls or replying to messages or whatever. But you definitely would scan the Uber driver. This is nothing but the process of the brain to keep you safe. Now, if you want to overcome this first barrier from a human brain, Rahul, whether it's your boss, current boss, or it is anyone in life, if you want to overcome this this barrier which is there in human brain, then you need to work on your self-image. The way you want people to perceive you. If you want people to trust you so that you get more business deals, or you get more opportunities at work,
or people buy your services or refer you, then work on your persona. Like all my life, let it be whichever business I am into, whichever company I am, whatever I do, I never had the need to really go out and do too much of marketing, because most of the business by and large is always because of the referrals that people give about us. So strongly people brand us, so strongly people refer us, that people just come and say, you know what, this person has referred about you and I want to get coached.
In fact, our personal finance, I mean the portfolio business which we
Yes.
developed, the entire network of client was all references. I'm not saying it's a great idea. We should look into marketing also, which
Of
we are
course
doing.
we need to, but that time we were only working with HNIs, and these were all millionaires, and HNI generally have a very simple way of working, that's their own network.
Absolutely.
So we could tap 25 people all put together, they gave us such a huge portfolio.
So everything we could achieve in this HNI circle, we would go there, meet them, build the trust, deliver.
Yes.
And with the services that we gave, by default, the next thing that they would do is refer us to someone else. So let's try and understand what are the components that we screen people on before we form an opinion about them. And what we do for them is what they are doing for us, right?
The first thing, let me tell you, I've been in sales, so I can start with this. The first thing in sales is, okay, first thing is, how do you look? Okay, because that's where 65% of the job is done the moment somebody looks you. So it starts from how do you dress up? You might feel, no, it makes a difference. People are perceiving you, judging you the way you dress up, the way you look, the way, you know, the shirt pant matching, the shoes matching.
You know, imagine you're going to a doctor who's shabbily dressed, who's not really combed his hair, and he's just sitting there with that little stubble on his chin. Do you think you'll want to really go and approach this doctor, or you'll walk out from his clinic? Because you will really wonder if he's the right guy. If you don't have any background about him, you will not want to put your life into a person who's looking like this.
Yes.
So it's very, very important to understand how do you dress up. The second thing is about how do you behave or present yourself.
Yes.
People scan you on that. That's the next thing that they look into. That firm handshake, that look into the eye. Are we having an eye contact? What is my body language? That is how people perceive what kind of person you are. Are you confident? Are you shy?
Absolutely. In fact, the handshake is just to experience that is this person confident. The second thing is, rather the third thing, how do we talk? We are going to be pursued on how are we talking. Is there confidence in the voice? Is there conviction? Is the voice clear enough? If not, if somebody has to say sorry again and again, so which means you've lost the game.
Right. Then, how are you known in your peer circle? That is a very important aspect of personal branding. Your reputation travels much far than you, right? So how are you known with people? Now, this is the aspect of your physical presence, where you go to work or in the place that you live, the community that you interact. Then we have this new digital world.
Virtual world, digital world, yeah.
Which has been created and has had a very powerful presence in the last 2-3 years. What do you really post on your social media?
Absolutely right.
People perceive you based on what do you like or dislike on social media.
Then the person who's been following up to do business with me, I've been ignoring, because whenever I have seen this social media, I find it very anti against everything and everything. And I'm not comfortable working or dealing with people who have this mindset of being extremists, because that's the post constantly this person posts or selects or refers such posts. So I've been always away from this guy. And I remember it's almost a few months back or 2 months back, he met me, sir, I've been following you. So I didn't he said, sir, I'm the guy. I said, are you the guy who keeps more into extreme kind of situation? I said, yeah, sorry, but I'm scared to connect with such people. So what do they post on social media? That's very important. Then also, what do we like or dislike on social media? That also is being judged.
And then, whom do you follow? So which are the people you're looking up to? Whom are you influenced by? Which are the organizations or companies that you're following? These are certain things which people look into when we talk about personal branding.
Absolutely right.
So if this is what matters, if this is what people in the external world are looking at when they are wanting to understand you, then that is where lies the answer on how do you enhance your personal brand. The first aspect to look into when you start thinking about building your personal brand is by getting to know yourself.
Yes.
So before we get into these details, I would want all of you who are listening to me right now, are you really keen on building your personal brand? Are you convinced that it's really, really important to have a great personal brand, whether it is in your physical presence, in the environment, or in the digital world? Is it really crucial? Please give me the answers. I'm looking forward for the answers in the comment. Till then, let me go on to say the first aspect is, who are you as a person?
Yes. What are your values? Are you aligned to your values? Like many a time people say these are my values, but in their real life, when they behave, when they talk, when they deal, when they work, their values does not, like for example, there's a client of mine, my highest value is integrity. I said, wow, that's amazing. Yesterday, I just shut off for 4 hours and during work time. Now integrity is my highest value. Now 4 hours I've just shut off. I was just on, keeping it on, I was doing something. So that means I'm not aligned with my values. What are your core strengths?
Absolutely right. So who are you as a person? What are your values? What are your core strengths? That is where personal brand starts happening.
Absolutely.
It's about knowing yourself.
Yes.
That's the first aspect. The second aspect is about what have you accomplished till now based on who you are as a person.
Yes.
So what are some of your achievements? What are some of your most proud moments?
Yes. What are some of the skills, that you have developed? Because you've been working for now 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. I'm sure there are a lot of skills that you've developed. What are the skills that you've developed? What's your area of expertise that you can say, you know what, I'm an expert? Because today, that's what world is looking for. Are you an expert in what you do?
In your domain, in your industry?
Yes.
Are you really good at what you do? So first aspect was about values and your core strengths.
Yes.
The second aspect is about how have you used these values and strength to accomplish something. So what have been your achievements and how you've added to this by adding on some new skills, and how you've really used this experience and become an expert in your industry.
And the third aspect is, how can you benefit others? Now that's the key point if you have to build this brand. And how can I benefit others with my values, strength, expertise, skills? Because if it is only for myself and it's not adding value to other people's life, it's of no use.
So whatever I have, the next question is really how will it benefit the other person, right? So that is what is the third aspect when you have to look into deciding about your personal branding.
Yes.
The fourth aspect, now you know your value, you know your core strengths, you know your accomplishments, you know your skills, your expertise, you know how you can benefit others.
Yes.
Who are these others you want to benefit? So you would be able to benefit a wide audience.
Yes.
But who are these people whom you want to deal with? Whom will you want to communicate this? Who is your target audience? We're talking about absolute demographics. Like I keep, whenever I come and introduce this session, I'm very clear. My target audience is mid-age people.
Yes.
People with 12 to 15 plus years of experience in life. These are the people that I'm reaching out to and talking to. That doesn't mean what I share here is not applicable to others.
It's applicable to any and everyone.
Who are minus or who are plus.
Yes.
But I'm genuinely keenly focused on this segment. So people start working from 21, they work on till 60, 65, 70. But what I'm looking at is 35 to 50, right? So because I'm clear of my target audience, I know what to communicate based on the value, the expertise, the skills, and what I've accomplished.
So that's why it's so important that you are identifying your target audience.
Okay? And then it's about how will you communicate with them.
Yes.
So the first way of communication, like we all just heard, is actually to put into action.
Yes.
So these are my values. Now I'm an employee, I work in an office. How do I conduct myself?
Yes.
What's my attitude towards my work, towards the people I work with, and towards my organization?
Yeah, if people are saying, "Arey yaar, ye hamesha rota hi rehta hai. This guy keeps complaining, this guy keeps crying, this guy keeps creeping." Now, if this is how you behave and this is how you conduct, this is how you're going to pursue. Imagine people who complain, criticize, blame are never given an opportunity to grow, because that becomes a much more bigger pain for people about.
Or if there's a problem being discussed, you're the first one to run away from there. Nahi, ye nahi ho sakta. Anything impossible being discussed, your brain just stops functioning.
Anything additional being told, sir, don't tell me, I'll not be able to do this.
There's too much on my plate, right? So if you're an employee working from an office, how do you conduct yourself in these daily situations?
Yes.
That's how people look at your image, that this is who you are.
Yes.
You're a person who really bothers me. Or you're a person who's welcome and you will really engage with the team and come out and work together for a solution.
Absolutely right.
That's your personal brand. If you're a professional, then how is your behavior, your attitude towards your team members and towards your clients? So if you're a business entrepreneur, you have people working for you. If you're a professional and you have coordinated with freelancers who are working with you.
If you are dealing with the client and you are showing attitude to the client, you're trying to blame the client.
Or you're a people pleaser, you're pleasing the client, that again is going to
not going to help. Okay, if you're going to argue and continuously debate the client, say no, your people did wrong, y'all are wrong, it doesn't work.
So first way to communicate is how you're putting it in actual action.
Yes.
At your work front. And then the second one is, of course, like we said, the most important presence that has increased is the digital media.
Yes.
So how do you reach out and tell people who you are through your social media?
Yes.
People whom you've never met, you've never seen. What is that you need to do to communicate all what we just discussed in terms of personal branding? So most important to understand, is it really necessary for employees?
It is.
And I believe it's really very important in today's day and age to have a digital presence. Because the minute the external world wants to know about you, whether it's a recruiting manager, a hiring manager, a consultant, the first thing that they do when you send your CV,
they start scanning you.
Yes, when they're hiring a particular profile, the first thing they do is they Google you. And the minute your name is put on Google, you know that all the pages of every platform just come up. And that's how they get to know you, the whole you. So you really have to, there's a caution that I want to give here.
Yeah, so the caution is, please check your WhatsApp status, your DP, your profile picture on Facebook and LinkedIn. Whom do you follow? What groups you are a part of? Which posts you respond to? What are the subjects or topics you are following every day is a way of personal brand. If not done thoughtfully, may represent the wrong side of you.
So you may think that I've just put a WhatsApp picture on what I like, but the image which is there on that WhatsApp, if people look at that image and that's not suiting your profile professionally, people will again judge you.
If your LinkedIn picture is either too far or it's too close or it is sideways, it's not a film that you're going for, and it's not your profile for a movie or a serial. It's a LinkedIn picture. It has to be clear-cut seen.
So whatever you're putting up there, your picture shows what is that message that you're sending to the world. So for example, even if you look at celebrities today, someone like a Vidya Balan or someone like Malaika, we know that they're both going to post absolutely different pictures about themselves because they have two different ways of representing themselves in this world of Bollywood and the audience that they cater to. Same way for us. What am I projecting through that one picture, whether it is on my LinkedIn page or my Facebook? I may feel that Facebook is personal, but dear friends, the fact that it is there on the media for the world to watch, there is nothing personal about it. People are going to watch and they're going to observe and they're going to talk about you.
Yes.
So your WhatsApp status, your DP, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, everything is damn crucial. Plus all what we mentioned, what do you follow, whom do you follow, what are the groups you're part of, is all what really matters. So think, how do you want people to perceive you? And then act on all the social media pages. Without a thought process, it is not really going to work. And then finally, the last bit of piece for your personal branding is, who are the people you're connected to?
Absolutely right. Who are the people you're connected? It also matters. It's a very old saying. It says, you are known by your friend circle. Today, that is about your connection, the group that you're a part of, which people or companies you follow. That's how you're going to be pursued and that's how you're going to be judged.
So be very careful when you're choosing connections on LinkedIn. Be very particular when you're adding friends on the Facebook, because when someone looks at your profile, they're going to look at your connection and they will know whether it's worth hiring this person or not. I remember one of my clients, when she was hired in an organization, they screened through her connections and they told her that when you're coming, get your team along, right? Because they knew she was really very connected to her team and they all would join her. And that's exactly what happened. She came in and she brought in 7 people from her previous employers, right? So knowing your connections is really very crucial. Plus, how you're responding to these people. Are you really active there and putting in some perspective to the post? Not just liking or putting a thumbs up. Because most of the time, people believe that your thumbs up is only for you to be noticed by others. So please put in your perspective there.
Absolutely.
Very crucial, who are the people you're following, because the people you follow is who you become, right? So I will decide whether I would want to interact with a person like him. That is why it's important to build connections which are going to represent the best part of you.
Finally, you are where you are in your career because of who you are as an individual. That's very important. If you want different, better, bigger results, then you need to work on yourself in the same way.
So the most important part of this is, who do you want to become?
Yes.
And then work on representing to the world outside.
Absolutely. Like my mentor always said, life is not about what you achieve. Life is about what you become. Because what you become is what is going to be represented everywhere.
So if you want better, bigger results in your career, then really start working on what are certain habits or traits you want to develop in yourself.
Yes.
What are certain knowledge, skill, expertise you need to work upon to fulfill your aspirations. When you work on all this, then it's about making the world aware of those changes that you've made in yourself.
Yes.
Which means now it's about working on your personal brand, which is the external reflection of who you are. If you can't do this on your own, then really pick up someone who can help you do this. Once you've made those changes, then it's about creating a beautiful story about what you are passionate about. What are you really happy doing? And the most important piece here is make it very authentic. Because when people are following you, and if they don't see that consistency, then the so-called brain of ours says, this is not the right person. He's not ethical, he's not authentic. So you have to not create an image which is not the true self. That doesn't mean going there and putting up your sad post, creating sympathy wave for you. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying go out and show your strengths.
Yes.
So that people would want to connect to you. Go and mention your accomplishments, something which you're truly proud of. Go and share what are your strengths. What is it something that you learned yesterday? What is something that someone else taught you? What is something that you taught to someone else? Your daily life experiences which can enrich your audience. That is something which you can do to increase or enhance your personal brand.
Now, own your story. This is also very, very important. Stay consistent with it and share it with others and in your network, personally on the digital media. Your digital presence is especially important because it allows potential employers and recruiters to learn more about you. This story will help recruiters, your clients, find you on LinkedIn, Facebook. This is how you land a dream job interview. This story is how you can clear interviews to get your dream job.
So dear friends, if you really created this story of all the aspects that we have mentioned, it'll help you in keeping consistent on your LinkedIn page, Facebook page. It'll help you when you're going out there for an interview. It'll help you when you sit with your boss for an appraisal. It'll help you when you're applying for a new job or a dream job. The story has to remain consistent with who you are and what you want to represent. Finally, we all know that your reputation should move with you as you build your personal brand and decide who you want to be in this external world.
Throughout your career, one thing I want you to remember, you are building a reputation. And that is very, it is so hard. Like I would like to end today's session with saying that it is extremely hard to build a great positive reputation. And let me tell you, it is so easy to ruin it. So be very, very careful of building your brand, building your reputation, and not ruining it.
So, in conclusion, I would like to say be really, really aware of what you say, how you behave, how you dress up, how do you present yourself in the world outside, on the digital media, because people, that's how perceive you and that becomes your personal brand.
Absolutely.
And if you want to change it, then start first working internally and then put it out in the external world. I hope this session was really helpful for you.
Yes.
If you have any questions, you can still post it on
Your
career. So guys, like you all know, we come here every Friday night at 9 p.m.
Yes.
so that we can help mid-age professionals, which means people especially who have a background of 12 to 15 years of work-life experience, and when they get stuck in their career, how do they move ahead? That is the core specialization that both of us have. Who are we?
So I'm Dheeraj. I'm a life coach and a career coach and a business coach.
And I'm Nutan. I'm a career and a life coach. And like I just mentioned, we specialize in coaching mid-age people with 12 to 15 years of experience. Tonight, in fact, we are going to have an amazing topic.
Yes.
Which all of us are struggling, I'm sure, are struggling at some space. Either it's related to someone else or it is related to you, but it is definitely a struggle on that aspect, which is called as emotional intelligence, or emotional, in our coaching language we call it as
emotional fitness.
We call it as emotional fitness.
Yes.
So that's what we are going to discuss. Why is it really important? Is it relevant? If it is important, how important it is? How do I cultivate that? All about
and
this.
Before we start, I have a question to all of you. All the viewers who are here now, later, and all those who are live with us can answer. How many of you feel that it is really important to have emotional fit, to be fit emotionally? How many of you feel it's important? Please write your comment, yes or no. How many of you feel it's important?
The live session becomes even more better,
more interactive when you are there with us. We know, I know you're there with us, but when you interact with us, it becomes more exciting for us.
Right. So I would like to ask Meha, Varun, Kshitija, Deep Jyoti.
All of them welcome. They're live there, and all others who are not there, been seen, but please do write down.
Right. So like we just mentioned, as humans, we are all emotional beings.
Yes.
And we can give away our lives when we are inspired. But we will not give away a penny, a dime to someone whom we don't like. Isn't that true? All of you, I would like to know this from you. You can give your life to someone whom you truly like, whom you're really inspired by. And that's what really happened, right? If you see, freedom didn't come to us without people giving up lives.
Yep.
Ordinary people stepping out of their house, ready to face those Britishers, face those guns. Why? Because they were inspired by one single man, a man who fought based on non-violence, a concept which was new, but that's what happens.
So what is the point here is that when we are emotionally connected to people,
yes,
okay, we are inspired to do whatever it takes for that person. But if we are not emotionally connected to that person, and especially if the person whom we don't like, that person can be anybody, okay? There, we are not even ready to give a penny. We are not able to do anything, though we can do it very easily. But people whom we love, whom we connect to, it may be how difficult, we will go and do it because we are emotionally connected. So it's very important for you to understand this.
So how many times have you experienced something like this in your life, where somewhere you gave away everything what you have,
yes,
and someplace you know you could do it, but you did not want to do it? I want each one of you to really give me this answer. I have gone through that. Yeah. I'm sure
in my initial years, yes. Today, yes, I'm emotionally very fit. But my initial years of my life, I was in a position where I didn't like my boss. And many a time, I should not do it. Though it was doable, I used to always say, no, it's not possible. It's difficult. It cannot happen. Because emotionally, I was not connected to him.
So when have you gone out of your way to help a stranger with no benefits attached? You're not expecting anything out of it. But you don't want to do a small little thing for a boss who can have a great impact on your career.
Absolutely right.
And I'm not saying you wouldn't have done it. You finally will do it out of force, but you have not done it out of choice. Where are those incidents? When have you faced this? Have you really been through this situation?
And there is a huge difference when you do something by force as compared to something that you do by choice.
That's really nice, Vidya, for you to share that you've experienced it many times. We would love to know from all of you when, where, how have you experienced that? Somewhere where you were amazed by the greatness that you showed up,
Yeah.
and somewhere where you were really amazed by the pettiness that you carry within your own self.
So that doesn't make us a bad person. Please don't misunderstand.
Yes.
It's just an emotional feeling. And that is why we are doing this topic today. That, how can we be emotionally fit? Because that's a very important key to grow in any organization.
So some more nice practical
Examples.
Examples, yes,
yeah?
that we would like to ask you. You could go first.
Okay. Have you continued in an organization where you were not getting paid enough, or rather something that you really deserve, but you stayed in that organization purely because of the relationship that you have developed with the organization, with the people, with the company, with the boss along the way? Have you been there?
Each one of you, anywhere throughout your career, you have stayed in an organization, even if you were not getting paid as much as you felt you deserved, but you stayed because of the relationship probably you had with your peers, with your colleagues, with your bosses, with your juniors, or as such with the organization. Did you really do that? That's the first one. Second one is,
how many of you have moved or changed jobs along with your bosses? So wherever the boss moved, you've been with them. How many have done that? Because I know I didn't do it, but I know a lot of people who did that. That wherever the bosses moved, they moved with them. So if they have been in the company for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, till the time the boss is there, they are in that organization. The moment the boss moves, they move. How many of you have done that? Third one.
have you missed some golden opportunities and still did not mind it? You were happy working in your current space, in the current organization. You didn't look at the growth opportunities because you were happy here in that beautiful little zone created by the emotional environment in the organization.
Have you ever left the job because you could not get along with your manager? You didn't like your manager. So you decided, even if I didn't have a job, people have given up jobs. And there are a lot of people who come to us, he said, I resigned. I said, great. Did you get a job? No, I could not deal with my boss. I could not deal with him even for a second. So I just resigned and I've come.
Do you agree that one of the biggest reasons for resignation is a bad boss?
How many of you agree? Please say yes or no. It's just one word. Come on. How many of you agree that people leave? The biggest reason of resignation is bad boss.
Right. So if you have told a yes to any of these situations,
even if you have not written internally, if you have been in any of this situation,
then think, what are all these situations talking about? They are all talking about emotional intelligence, or the EQ that you have, emotional intelligence or the EQ that you have, or probably these are all external triggers. The incidents that we discussed, these are all external triggers, and that has reflected on your EQ.
Yes.
And that is reflected on your behavior. So we discussed all these above situations based on the external triggers, right?
Yes.
Now let's really try and self-reflect. It's very easy to say, my boss was like this and this is what happened. Let's try and understand whether these kind of situations have happened to you because of you. So have you ever misbehaved with anyone and regretted that later? Have you ever behaved with anyone and regretted that situation later? You would have questioned, was it me? Could I do this? And you really would be so embarrassed to face that situation or that person once again. Have you ever misbehaved with anyone and later regretted that moment?
Second, have you ever hurt someone with your words, even if it was unintentionally? You didn't have any intention to hurt that person, but because of the language, the words that you use, you hurted that person. Have you ever done that?
The next one, do you believe you're a good team player? Do you believe you're a good team player? Do you place all the people around you in the team above you, equal to you, or below you? Are you a good team player?
Are people around you comfortable, happy in your presence, or are people avoiding you? Like, I'll give you just 3 days back, I had a session with one of my recent client, and she was saying, you know what, like, she's a boss and she has juniors and everybody colleagues working with her. It's all going on great. But then often she realized that they do weekend parties together. They come together, they play pool together, they do a lot of stuff together. But you know what? She's not invited. And
Absolutely.
that was one big jolt she got. Then why am I not being invited? And then she started feeling, yes, I. But I said, yeah, but all of them, there are 22 people they go, only this one person not been invited.
And then finally, can you inspire people to perform at their peak levels? Have you been able to inspire people to perform at their peak levels? Please think answers to these questions. The answers to these questions suggest, do you need to work on your own emotional intelligence?
Absolutely. So the last point is like the army people, have the charge. Hi, sir. So are you able to, that those leaders, the army guys who do that, my God, imagine the level of inspiration that they give to their guys, that they're all out there ready to give their life for the country. Wow, amazing this is.
So I remember one of these, you remember the army guy whom we would go and meet?
Yes.
He was the commanding officer. What is that? What is that called? Siachen.
Yep.
The peak there, where if you stay there for a long time, your toes and your fingers, actually there are sometimes people lose their fingers because it's so cold there.
Cold, yeah.
And there you have to motivate people to carry all that baggage. It's food, it's about all the weapons, everything they have to carry on their back, and they have to travel up, and they're running the risk that while they're traveling up on the mountain, there could be one bullet coming their way.
Yes.
And they are still able to motivate those guys. At times he's told that food is over, they're hungry, but they've still gone there and fought to take care of people like us living here in this civilized society. That is the kind of IQ that we are talking about.
EQ that we are talking. That's the kind of EQ we are talking here, where you are hungry. You can get freeze, you can die with freeze, and there is a bullet coming, but you're still on there, completely charged and ready to fight a battle. That's what we are talking about, the EQ level. And that is what a great leader does.
Yes. And we both have always believed
Absolutely.
that EQ is more important than IQ. In fact, Dheeraj will definitely, he's been sharing, both of us were really average as students. So our IQ was really an average. For me, it was, I somehow really managed a first class in my 10th and my 12th, dipped in my BSc and MBA. So I touched even second class during my BSc electronics.
Don't ask me. Mine was highest in my entire life, was 42%. And it was always 36 and 42. And I remember in my school life, I was always given that 7 grace marks. Do you remember, guys? My time, guys, we used to get that 7 grace. And I was there every year getting that 7 grace. That was my IQ level.
But the success that we are experiencing today,
yes,
that we are sitting here and sharing all this with you, is only and only come because both of us have learned how to always be in a peak emotional state.
Absolutely. We are emotionally so fit. We are always happy, always energetic, enthusiastic, passion, driven in life. That's what we are.
Absolutely correct. And all the credit of all what we've achieved, we have accomplished, goes to this emotional fitness that we have worked on reaching here. It's not happened in one day. We've made it happen. And this belief of ours got validated by all the successful people whom we got a chance to interact with. So thanks to the LinkedIn platform, we could reach out to people who are working on positions of CXO. They have come, they have presented their views on our interviews. I'm sure each of you would have gone through those insight from mentor section. We checked with them, what do you see in the candidate before you hire them? And almost all of them had similar responses. What was the response? Do you want to know? Here it is.
Yes. So they started saying, of course, we look for a functional expertise. But even if they lack some of the knowledge there, we can train them. It's possible. But what is more important is that candidate trainable? Is that candidate adaptable? Is that candidate resilient? Is that candidate a good team player? Is that candidate a good listener? Is that candidate ready to learn? Can he perform under pressure? Is he willing to learn? If all this is there, then there is no issue. But if this is not there, no matter how good the candidate IQ could be, they do not select that. That's today how all of them have said the common things in different words.
And all of them had one thing in common. Each one of them mentioned this specifically, saying that they all had great relationships in each and every company
Yes.
they worked with. And they have maintained these relations right from their first job till the current job. So
Absolutely.
every one of them said that they are in constant, regular touch with their seniors right from that first job till today. In fact, some of them mentioned that they have never applied for jobs. Never they have gone to a
Yes.
portal or reached out to a company's website or drafted a letter or written an email to anyone for a job. They always got the next opportunity through some reference or recommendation by a previous colleague or a senior. They always got a next opportunity through some reference or recommendation by a previous colleague or a senior.
Absolutely. So it's very important for you to check that how are my relations with my people? Karan, pass, or is it, Marathi mein they say, Kama Purta Mama, which means till the time you have work, you maintain the relation, work is over, you forgot. But believe me, we are in a career for 40 years. And in that 40 years, if we maintain good relations with people, there are very high probability. You don't have to go to any portal. You don't have to search a job. The moment you tell in the market, you know what, I'm open, there are people there ready to hire you.
So if you have to be successful in your career, and I'm sure each one of you who's joined us live today want to see growth in their career. They want to ace their career. So if you want to grow at a much faster pace than your peers, then you definitely need to have a high degree of emotional intelligence.
Yes.
Why is it required? Let me explain this to you in brief.
Yep.
How does this work in the corporate world? So for example, when you start working, you play an individual contributor's role. So naturally, your IQ is checked, your IQ is high, and that is why you've got a role because of it. But you know what? Your salary hike will only come when you have been responding well with the expectations that your manager has from you. Research shows that people with high EQ over a period of time generally have better salaries than their peers.
Yes.
So people with high EQ have better salaries than their peers who are lower on EQ, probably would be higher on an IQ level.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, your next promotion will depend on the work you have done and, most important, how good team player you are. Because that's something they want to see when you go about, are you an individual player or are you a team player? As you grow up the ladder, all of you know that your technical skill requirements start reducing and your leadership skills will become increasingly important. And most important, you are going to be able to get the best. You're the guy who has to now not do everything on your own. You have to get work done from your team. And believe me, it's not that easy. That's one of the most toughest thing to do. And in that case, you are going to build a team. Your team is going to deliver. And your promotion is not based on what you are doing. Your promotion is based on what your team is doing. How is your team performing? And to make that happen, you need to have amazing relationship with their team. And to maintain that amazing relationship, you need to ensure that you're emotionally fit.
So I want you to think. If you want, you can answer this on the comment section, or write it on your own, or register it in your own mind.
Yes.
If you are in a position of having a team, are you being able to get the best out of your team?
Absolutely.
Is your team really delivering at their peak levels? You're getting efficient results from your team. And if that's not the case, it's really time to inspect, where am I going wrong?
Absolutely right.
Not about the team, where am I going wrong? What is that I'm not being able to do as a leader, that my team is not really performing at the peak level?
In fact, that's something you can do an exercise. Once you agree that this is missing in you and people are avoiding, ignoring, and wherever there's a challenge, as I told these ladies, please speak to a few of them who are very close to you and ask them that what can I do? How can I change? What can I add so that I can also be a part of this team? I didn't say that go and complain and ask them, why did you go? Tell them that something I know is missing in me. What can I change? And they told 3, 4 things which he realized, yes, this is what needs to be changed.
So, how bigger and wider is your influence decides whether you can reach the CXO level.
Yeah,
it could be in
absolutely.
any
C
way. It could
category.
be operations or technical or the CEO, but it's more important how bigger your wider your influence is over the entire organization. And even if you've got that position, you can only thrive in that CXO position if you can build strong relationships with your internal and external client, have capacity to take rational decisions in critical times, because that is where your true mettle as a leader is tested, and take some really tough decisions, which again demands for a great EQ level.
Absolutely.
So you may be aspiring to really become a CEO, CXO, top management position, but believe me, you will not be able to sustain that position if you don't have a high EQ, or in our coaching language, you're absolutely in a peak emotional state.
In fact, there are a lot of people who are connecting to us. They have got the position on a leadership level and they're not able to deliver. They don't know, because somewhere they are missing the most important point, is that how do I influence and inspire people to get the work done?
In fact, that I can validate this again, a truth that most of our clients, when they come to us and we are working on that, the first thing that we work on them is whether they are aware of it or no, but we work on their emotional fitness. We work on picking them up on an emotional state where they're high, where they're energetic, positive, they're going out and contributing, they become a giver.
Yes.
And when they do all of this, by default, either they get a next promotion with an amazing salary hike, or they get a great job with a great position.
Now, Varun would be saying there that enough of this yarn of importance of EQ. Tell me, how do I become emotionally fit? Give me the solution. Okay, I agree that I'm not in emotional fitness. Now tell me, how do I become emotional? So this is for people like Varun there who want to be emotional fit. 5 things, or maybe more, but we have less time. So 5 things that you can do to become emotionally fit.
So first thing is cultivate the attitude of gratitude.
Yes.
And I want each one of you to reiterate these points in the comment section, so that the others who are going to join later will be able to benefit from this small little act of yours. You're going to put down these 5 points for people who will read it later, that they'll go and see this. Even if they don't watch this half an hour thing, they can gather this basic 5 things they can do for their emotional fitness. So first, cultivate the attitude of gratitude, which means learn to be grateful for all what you have accomplished. Generally it's a tendency that whatever we have accomplished, we only give credit to ourselves.
Yes.
And it increases your ego.
Yes.
It doesn't make you more emotionally fit. So whatever you have accomplished, express gratitude to all the people who are responsible for your success on a consistent basis. There has to be someone who checked where you were good at. There has to be someone who recommended you to a next position.
There has to be someone who was always there besides you. And there has to be someone who did what you said, due to which you have been. It can be in your company, it can be in your friend circle, it can be in your family, it can be your mentor, anybody. But there is always someone who, or it can be your own life partner.
Yes, absolutely.
Or your children who are always there with you, who supported you. You need to start thanking them. So that's the first. Cultivate attitude of gratitude. Second, do some form of meditation every single day. It's important that you practice, so that you connect to the universe. Why? Because it helps you to keep yourself calm, makes you think rationally. Once you connect to the universe, your infinite wisdom, the subconscious wisdom rises, and that helps you to take the right decision, use the right language, behave in the right way. It also helps a lot of people like her who are creative people. It enhances their creativity to a very high, she meditates for 3 hours every day, 2.5, 3 hours every day. So do I. And I've seen her creativity going to a different level. So meditation is it's one of the very important skill to grow in your career. Creativity. We are in the world of innovation, okay? And innovation comes with creativity. So the second step is, please do meditate every day. If you at least 10 minutes. And if you don't have a 10 minutes, you don't have a life.
So, many a times people say that today you cannot do monotonous job because AI is coming in. Instead of being fearful of the AI,
Yes.
be creative, think out of the box, and that can only happen when you are connected to the creator.
Yes.
The third important thing is listening with your heart. Listening with your heart. What does it mean? It means giving your full attention to the person who's speaking to you. And full attention means you're even picking up the non-verbal cues. What is the body language? How is he looking into you? What is he feeling? If you can understand what that person is feeling, then it means you're listening to that person.
So, for example, you ask a junior, how are you doing? And that person says, okay, sir, good. Okay, great. Chalo, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Now you said great, go ahead. But you did not observe the way he told good, his voice, his tonality, his body language, because you are not listening from your heart.
You just did a formality, you asked and you moved ahead. So it's very, very important to listen to the non-verbal cues and be completely present in the moment.
Fourth, empathy. This is very, very important. Empathy. Putting yourself in the other person's shoes. That's very important. And thinking from their perspective only. Their perspective only, not adding your own perspective. Okay? Will be able to help you cultivate, this trait of empathy. Like what would be this person going through to behave in such a way and to act in such a way? Empathize with people.
And so many times I have proven this to my clients. They come and they're complaining about someone. That person is not responding. He's not doing well. He's irritating me. When I tell him for my work, he's not really responding. He's doing it at his own pace. I don't know why did he speak like that. And I tell them, calm down. Check what that person is going through. Something would have been disturbing him in his personal front.
Very true.
And 99% of the times, I'm right. There is something that has happened behind the scene for that person to behave that way.
Absolutely.
So we need to really be absolutely in that state to be able to empathize with
and the fifth
other
one
people.
Is energy. That's my favorite here. Positive energy is very, very crucial and important to succeed in your life. To build this positive energy, you need to focus on three things. First, physical fitness. You need to be out there 1 hour, at least 30 minutes, okay? And your connection with your creator. These two things are so important to build that kind of energy. And also, what are the kind of people you're surrounded with? Like I ensure that I'm always surrounded with very positive energy people. And that's why I'm bubbling. She's bubbling with energy. So these are the 5. First, cultivate the attitude of gratitude. Second,
do some form of meditation.
Every single day. Third, listening with your heart.
Fourth, empathy.
And fifth, energy.
So I want all of you to put in those 5 bullet points and for a change, be in that emotional state that you're doing it for someone else. So what happens when you're emotionally high? The most important thing happens is you are able to build trust.
Yes.
And when you're able to build trust in the environment, when people start trusting you, ways open up to grow for you and for others. So this entire exercise does one very crucial thing, and that is building trust. And we all know that a foundation of any relationship begins from there.
Oh wow, Sri Vidya is written. Thank you, Sri Vidya.
Fastest finger.
Sri Vidya's fastest finger. So you get one important gift from us. And that is, we are going to give you, what are we going to give her as a gift?
One complimentary session of half an hour only on how to increase your
EQ. Half an hour free session from our side to Sri Vidya to give such a fast answer. We really appreciate that, Sri Vidya. Thank you.
So the more you practice, the better you get at it. You can only influence and inspire others when you yourself are inspired.
Yes.
When you yourself are in that right influence. So reach out to every form of positive influence wherever, whenever possible. One of the source is which you're attending currently.
Yes.
Guys, this I can guarantee you that if you're attending our live sessions regularly, you will definitely remain in positive energy.
Absolutely.
This is something that we can vouch on.
Both of
that-
us can vouch.
Yes.
People just come to be around us. They just listen to our voice, that energy that they want to experience, and the positivity that we carry.
And of course,
The last, be vigilant about your thoughts. Process them carefully, because what you think is what you feel. What you feel is what is your state of emotion or your quality of life. Because what your emotions are, that's the quality of life. So be vigilant of your thoughts. They have the biggest impact on your emotional intelligence. Choose to read. Okay, that's very important. Choose to read or listen something which has positive impact on your thought process. That's very, very important. Okay.
so guys, that's it from us
Yes.
for tonight on how do you really enhance your EQ.
Now, before